ṣùgbọ́n a mọ̀ wọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí amòfin àgbà. Ọmọ wọn tí ó tún wá jámòfin àwọn náà ti ń kọrin báyìí o. Wọ́n ń pè wọ́n ní falls. So ìdílé àwọn bàbá wa, ìdílé ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ni wọ́n. Àmú wọn yangàn nílẹ̀ Yorùbá torí pé ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà ni wọ́n. Lénìí lórí ètò ká tó wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu bàbá wa. A ní àwọn àgbà amòye wa lọ́dọ̀ o. A ní bàbá Banji Ayílóge. Bàbá Ayílóge a mọ̀ wọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí adìjàǹgbara àti ẹni tí ó ń ṣojú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àwọn ni wọ́n ti jẹ́ ààrẹ fún ẹgbẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá.
Akọ̀wé ni o, akọ̀wé àgbà yanyan.
Wọ́n ti ṣe akọ̀wé àgbà fún ẹgbẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá. Akitiyan wọn nígbà ayé Abacha gbogbo wa la mọ̀, gbogbo tí wọ́n ṣe rírì iṣẹ́ wọn lókè òkun gbogbo ẹ̀ la mọ̀. A tún ní nínú àwọn àgbà wa a ní ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Adéníran Adébóyè tó jẹ́ àgbà pòfẹ́sọ̀ nínú ẹ̀kọ́ mathematics. Wọ́n ti wà ní Howard University ní United States. Wọ́n ti ń wà ńbẹ̀ láti bí 47 years ni wọ́n ti ń kọ́ ètò mathematics ní Howard University. Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ni wọ́n sì mọ̀ wọ́n káàkiri àgbáyé. A ní ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Dípọ̀ Akíṣíkù. Àwọn náà ajìjàǹgbara ni wọ́n mọ̀ wọ́n káàkiri. Wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ akitiyan wọn ní ayé Nàdẹ́kò, àmọ́ akitiyan wọn tí wọ́n ṣe láyé Nàdẹ́kò. A tún ní ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Ọmọ́fọlábọ̀ Àjàyí Ṣóyínká. Obìnrin takuntakun ni wọ́n, ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ni wọ́n ti kọ ìwé tó pọ̀ púpọ̀ lórí akitiyan àwọn obìnrin nílẹ̀ Yorùbá nílùú Nàìjíríà. Àwọn àgbàlagbà yìí pẹ̀lú ìyá wa Yèyé Ṣọlá Yusuf Àìwénilọ́mọ ni wọ́n á wá mú bàbá wọn fi wọ́n sí gbangba òde lénìí tí wọ́n á máa béèrè ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọn. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ọ̀rọ̀ ń bẹ lẹ́nu bàbá wa. Wọ́n sọ ọ̀rọ̀ dẹ̀ndẹ̀ lénìí. Àwa tá a sì jọmọdé àá jókòó àá fetí sí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ sọ. Ìyá wa ó dọwọ́ yín o.
Ọwọ́ gẹ́ngẹ́ báyìí ni wọ́n ní síwájú ijó, ìdùnnú ní ṣe atọ́kùn fáyọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ kóòtù òjíire, ẹ̀yin ọmọ Oòduà tẹ̀wọ̀nrọ̀, mo kí yín tẹ̀ṣọ́, mo kí yín ní tológun. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ ti gbọ́ láti ẹnu ọmọ ọba Sàǹdà Adéyínká bí ó ti rí náà ni ó wíhun. Ìta ti pé, ìrọ́ ti pé, adájọ́ ọjọ́ pé, apènà ọ̀nà kò. Nígbà tí a kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀, ẹ rí i pé ẹ̀rọ fẹ́ múná lọ páfẹ́ fún bí ìṣẹ́jú mélòó. Bí ti rí nù, bí a bá perí akọni àfidà lálẹ́ gàràgà, ẹ̀rọ wa ti mọ̀ pé àgbà ọ̀jẹ̀ òní ń bọ̀, ẹ̀rọ náà yá tún ara mú. Lórúkọ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ Yorùbá Gbòde, mo kí alàgbà àgbà amòfin Fẹ́mi Fálànà pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Yorùbá Gbòde. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti wí, ètò Yorùbá Gbòde, àwọn ọ̀dọ́mọdé àti àgbààgbà oníròyìn ni wọ́n kóra wọn jọ láti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún sẹ́yìn láti dá Yorùbá Gbòde sílẹ̀. Èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí olóòtú náà ni mo ti ṣe atọ́kùn láyé ìdìjàgbara Abacha fún ètò pàtàkì tí a ṣe tí láyé ẹ̀wọ̀n Oòduà láyé ìdìjàgbara nígbà. Àwọn lókọ àwọn lẹ́kànlẹ́kàn ni wọ́n wà níkàlẹ̀ lórí ètò lónìí. So, lọ́wọ́ ẹlẹ́dàá wípé adájọ́ ọjọ́ pé àpète èrò wa gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni ó jọ. Àlejò wa pàtàkì lórí ètò yìí lónìí, òdú ni wọ́n iṣẹ́ àìmọ̀ fún olóko, ẹ̀fúùfù lẹ̀lẹ̀ ni wọ́n iṣẹ́ ẹni tí a mọ̀, kò sílẹ̀ tí a mẹ́wẹ́ ni. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọọba Adéyínká ṣe sọ, ara àwọn ògo orílẹ̀-èdè wa, ara àwọn ògo Yorùbá SAN amòfin àgbà ní jẹ́bẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá ti ka òfin débi gbì ni wọ́n máa ń gba SAN. Àwọn náà ni àlejò wa pàtàkì. Ẹnu oníkàn ni a ti gbọ́ pọ̀n. Ètò tòní ó ṣe pàtàkì torí wípé a fẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n máa ń gbọ́ Fẹ́mi Fálànà níbí lọ́hùn, a fẹ́ kí wọ́n tiẹ̀ wá túbọ̀ mọ̀ yín dáadáa. Ta ni ẹni tí ẹ jẹ́? Bàbá wa amòfin àgbà, a fẹ́ kí ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ yín gangan ni ẹ sọ ìtàn ibi tí ẹ ti ń bọ̀, ibi tí ẹ gbà kọjá àti ibi tí ẹ dé. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti wá sọ, àwọn àgbààgbà á fi ọ̀rọ̀ wá yín lẹ́nu wò ní ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan. Nítorí náà, ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ ibi tí ẹ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀, kí ẹ sọ ìtàn ìgbésí ayé yín fún wa àti àwọn ibi tí ẹ gbà kọjá tí ó ṣe pàtàkì bí gbogbo wa ṣe mọ̀. Ẹ káàbọ̀ o, ó dọ̀wọ́ yín.
Ẹ ṣé pọ̀ olóòtú. Mo kí yín, mo dẹ̀ kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa, àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n, àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi, ẹ kú òkè òkun. Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè á jẹ́ kí orí délé o. Tádì ẹ bá fẹsẹ̀ walẹ̀, ire ló ń wá, ire ni ó máa ṣe ti yín o.
Àṣẹ.
A bí mi ní ìlú Ìlàwẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí olóòtú ti sọ lẹ́ǹkan. Mo dẹ̀ lọ iléèwé gẹ́gẹ́ bí olóòtú náà ti sọ. Iléèwé àwọn páàdì ti àwọn kátólíìkì ni mo lọ. Mo tiẹ̀ gbìyànjú láti di pé mo fẹ́ di fadá, ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run lèmi ò ní ṣe fadá pé ṣùgbọ́n máa jẹ́ fadá àwọn ọmọ tèmi.
Happy Father's Day gbà náà.
Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé fún gẹ́gẹ́ bá ti ń sọ, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ la pè ṣùgbọ́n díẹ̀ la yàn. So nítorí náà Ọlọ́run ò yàn wá síṣẹ́ fadá. Òun la fi ń ṣe òun la fi ń ṣe tìlú lónìí. Látìgbà tí mo ti jẹ́ ọmọ iléèwé yunifásítì Ilé-Ifẹ̀, tí mo ti ń jà fún ẹ̀tọ́ àwọn ọmọ ènìyàn tí àwọn ọmọ iléèwé wa, ńgbà tá a dẹ̀ ń ṣe iṣẹ́ àgùnbánirọ̀ ìyẹn NYSC, ńgbà yẹn mo ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ lọ́yà. Mo lọ sílé ẹjọ́ láti dúró fún àwọn ọmọ yunifásítì méje ńbàdàn tí ìjọba gbé lọ ilé ẹjọ́ pé wọ́n fẹ́ pa olórí iléèwé wọn. They were charged with murder. Wọ́n fẹ́ pa vice chancellor wọn náà lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn nítorí pé wọ́n wọ́de lásán ni o. Ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run bá wa ṣe, àgbà wọn ńlẹ̀. Ìyẹn wá bíjọba àwọn Ṣàgàrí nú lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn. Wọ́n wá ní káwọn àgùnbánirọ̀ kan máa fún mi ní ìwé pé àṣìṣe ìtàn, àṣìṣe ìyọrí, ìyẹn discharge certificate. Wọ́n rò pé èmi ò ní ríṣẹ́. Ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀gá mi lọ́yà tó jẹ́ olórí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ lọ́yà Nàìjíríà, ìyẹn Àkàbàṣọ̀run, Àláwọ̀ Àkàbàṣọ̀run, Onífẹ́mi, ṣèbó sìnjọba fọ́dún kan. Mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ṣé o lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ tó dáni lójú? Mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Wàá bá mi ṣiṣẹ́. Tó máa wá gbé yín lọ ilé ẹjọ́ ń kọ́ bí ẹgbàyàn tí ò ní ìwé ẹ̀rí. À á pe àwọn tẹ̀gìjọ ṣiṣẹ́ yìí. So mo bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ kó tó di pé mo dá lè ṣe tèmi ńlẹ̀. Nígbà òkúta ní 2001, lẹ́yìn ọdún méjìdínlógún náà ṣe fún mi ní discharge certificate. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tó ń fún mi, mi ò ní ìdí ẹ̀ mọ̀. Kò pẹ́ tí mo di lọ́yà ńgbà táwọn Buhari padà, àmì tán náà fẹ́ ṣe ìjọba ní pẹ̀lú àwọn olóògbé bẹ́ẹ̀ Kọ́ransọ́m Kútì, olóògbé Gani Fáwẹ́hìnmí àtàwa kan la jókòó pé ṣá máa gbà wọ́n eléyìí láti padà sí ìjọba kan tó máa dà lúrú báyìí, kan máa gbé àwọn yẹn wá sẹ́wọ̀n. Nítorí náà la fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn. Ń pé a lọ nílé ẹjọ́ pẹ̀lú olóògbé Kànmí Ìṣọ̀lá Òṣọ́bù, ká ní kó máa gbé Fẹlá sẹ́wọ̀n. A ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́yà Fẹlá, inú bíjọba sí mi. Àwọn Buhari wọ́n gbé mi sí àmọ́ detention. Inú detention la wà nígbà tó kéde. Ọjọ́ táwọn Babangida ń fi wálẹ̀, wọ́n ń bi àwọn tó wá pé ṣé kò ń ṣe pé ẹ̀ ń pa wọn, ẹ̀ ń tú àwọn bí ìṣe torí àwọn tó ń bọ̀. wọ́n ní kí n ṣáà máa lọ ilé tó bá wù mí máa padà wá ní nǹkan bí ọdún 8 tí Babangida fi dàlúrú kan náà ó ń gbé wa lọ wájú ó ń gbé wa lọ sẹ́yìn wọ́n ti rí gbà tó gbé wa lọ ilé ẹjọ́ pé a fẹ́ dá ìjọba ń rú ní àwọn civilian pé a fẹ́ overthrow military government ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run náà kó wa yọ lọ́wọ́ ewu bẹ́ẹ̀ láti bá lọ tó jẹ́ pé Babangida ó gbàgbé wa sẹ́wọ̀n èmi Olóyè Gani àti bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ wọ́n dàbí pé ọ̀gbẹ́ni ṣẹ́nẹ́kàn ló fi wá lẹ̀ ló tó wá lẹ̀ ní wèrè wá wọ̀ ìjọba ní Abacha yíyún wèrè pátápátá ni ṣùgbọ́n àjẹkódẹ́rù bá wa a náà bá fà á wọn náà gbà pé àwọn kan bẹ̀ ń lù wọ́n ti ẹ̀rọ́dún kan tó gbé mi sẹ́wọ̀n oṣù 10 yẹn ní 1996 ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run kó wa yọ adẹ̀ ń bá wọn fà ló tó di pé wọ́n pa Olóyè Abíọ́lá tó jẹ́ pé òun ló wọlé ìbò tá a di 1993 adẹ̀ nígbà tí ìjọba dá òkúta lẹ̀ a jẹ́ kó yé àwọn gbogbo ayé pé wọ́n pa ọ̀gbẹ́ni Abíọ́lá ni ìdí èyí náà fi wá ní ok ìjọba tó ń bọ̀ yìí ìjọba tiwantiwa tẹ̀yìn ara bí jà fún Yorùbá ni kó wá di ààrẹ apàṣẹ wà ń lò wá ìyẹn pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì òun ló fi jẹ́ pé 1998 èèyàn méjì tó díje Olóyè Ọbásanjọ́ àti Olóyè Olúfàlàì ni wọ́n gbà láyè àwọn ológun náà sọ pé Ọbásanjọ́ ló wọlé ó dá bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ọdún 8 lọ́básanjọ́ fi wà ń jọba ṣùgbọ́n lọ́dún 8 ìkàkà kéwé àgbọ̀ndẹ̀ kókó ní lè sí i ọ̀gbẹ́ni ẹjẹ́ kó ní kálukú máa ṣe tiẹ̀ láyé tiẹ̀ nílùú tiẹ̀ bá ti ń ṣe lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn tìlú ń dá Ọbásanjọ́ ní rárá o gidigbe ní Nàìjíríà wà o ẹni tó gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe tiẹ̀ o Àbújá ni ó máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ fún wa o ìyẹn ló jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé ká máa sọ pé à ń ṣe restructuring ni pé àtúnṣètò ìlú wa wọn àwọn Ọbásanjọ́ ò gbà àwọn tó ti di president náà láti gbà yẹn ò gbà Buhari ni Yar'Adua Jonathan Buhari wọ́n ní ìjọba Àbújá ni ká ṣáà máa sìn à ń bá wọn fa lọ́wọ́ a dẹ̀ rí pé ẹ̀yin kan nílùú wa àti tẹwà ń lo èbò ẹ̀ ń sọ pé ká dá gbogbo ẹ̀rú ni kó ní kálukú máa lọ́lọ́ tiẹ̀ a sì wà lórí eléyìí
kálukú máa lọ́lọ́ ẹ̀ náà
nǹkan tẹ́yìn ń sọ nìyẹn a tù wò dáadáa
kọlọmúdọmú ìyá ẹgbẹ.
Nàìjíríà ò lè get on tá a bá tí Fúlàní bá ṣe ń rú tí iná bá ṣe.
ẹ dákun
ta ló ń sọ̀rọ̀.
ẹnjìníà Ọládìgbòlù iṣẹ́ yín kù díẹ̀ ẹni tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọn ò ní àǹfààní láti máa sọ̀rọ̀ torí àti ìpè wọ́n ní bẹ́lẹ́bọ̀ ò pé ní àṣefí ò jẹ́ ní ọ̀ràn tí ò tún hàn kóńkó ń ṣojú Ọládìgbòlù ẹ pa gbogbo àwọn èèyàn lẹ́nu mọ́ àfi àlejò wa pàtàkì tí wọ́n ń sọ̀rọ̀ lásìkò yìí ẹ bá mi fi àwọn bàbá amòye náà sílẹ̀ kí wọ́n ó lè sọ̀rọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ẹlòmíì tí wọ́n bá ń gbẹ̀yìn wọlé ẹnjìníà Ọládìgbòlù ẹ pa wọ́n lẹ́nu mọ́.
ẹ ṣe pọ̀ kan Fadéyínká náà lẹ́ o.
ẹ bá ń Fadéyínká Ọ̀yọ́ náà lẹ́ o atọ́kùn nínú o.
ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ àgbà ni Adéyínká ìfilẹ̀.
tó adúpẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn tí ẹ ti máa gbọ́ amòfin àgbà Fẹ́mi Fálànà ní Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ṣé mo sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá wọn ó ti dí ó fagun wà lọ ṣé ẹ ti gbọ́ àbẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n nísìn. ẹ ṣeun ètò níyangán tó mọ ètò báyìí ètò ní àgbàdo. mo rí wípé ẹ ti ṣe agbẹjọ́rò fún àwọn akọ òkúta àwọn tẹ̀mí máa ń pè ní akọ òkúta bíi Fẹlá ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí olóògbé Fẹlá ṣe rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn táwa mọ̀ pa olóògbé Fẹlá ni pé a máa wọ pátá lásán láàrin ìgboro a máa kó igi sórí Mercedes Benz ọfẹ yàgò 27 ẹ̀yin mọ̀ dáadáa ǹjẹ́ nǹkan kan wà tó ṣe pàtàkì tá a mọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ lè sọ fún wa nípa olóògbé Fẹlá Aníkúlápó Kútì.
Olóògbé Fẹlá jẹ́ èèyàn pàtàkì gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n àti àbúrò rẹ̀ àwọn òbí rẹ̀ fẹ́ kó lọ ṣiṣẹ́ dókítà kó lọ kọ̀wé láti di dókítà ṣùgbọ́n olórin lòun máa kọ. Ìyá rẹ̀ tiẹ̀ ṣe tọ́ntọ́n lọ bá ń lu Gẹ̀ẹ́sì lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn pé ò lè kọrin lu wa àwọn alágbe ní máa ń kọrin Fẹlá ní tòun máa yàtọ̀. Àwọn ìyá rẹ̀ bàbá ti kú ńgbà yẹn ìyá rẹ̀ rò pé òun nìkan ni òun ní ṣe dáadáa lára àwọn ọmọ ṣùgbọ́n ńgbò ya ipò kẹta ni nínú àwọn ọmọ òbí rẹ̀. Tẹ̀lẹ̀mọ̀ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ọmọ tó bá jọmọ àkọ́kọ́ takọ́ bí la máa ń pe bàbá alágbájá ìyá alágbájá ìyá Kóyè nìyá wọn ń jẹ́ Professor Kóyè Ransom Kuti ṣùgbọ́n ńgbà ó yá ó di ìyá Fẹlá. Àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n rẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀gbọ́n Fẹlá àwọn àbúrò rẹ̀ wọ́n dàbúrò Fẹlá torí pé ó lórúkọ ó dẹ̀ lórúkọ tó dáa. Kò wọ pátá ń ta ń máa ń wọ pátá ńlé rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n jẹ́yàn tí ò sí pé ń tijú táwọn oníròyìn bá wá ìta máa sáré wọlé ká lọ wọṣọ gidi tó bá jẹ́ pátá ní Fẹlá wà ńgbà tó ń wọlé òun náà ni ó ní kó máa fi ya fọ́tò òun la fi ń sọ pé bóyá Fẹlá ń wọ pátá lórí pé ó kógi sórí Mercedes Benz. Rí i pé ní nǹkan bíi nígbà 17 gbà owó ń bẹ ń lò wá nígbà òdó jí táwọn èèyàn ń ra ọkọ̀ bíi Mercedes Benz táwọn pè ní mẹ̀sí oníyẹ̀rì. Olówó kan pẹ̀lú Fẹlá tó ń tí ó ní Fẹlá ò wá mọ́tò dáadáa ó wá fẹ́ gba létí. Mo ti gbọ́wọ́ yẹn sókè báyìí àwọn Fẹlá lélẹ́yìí ó yà gbọ́wọ́ padà. Mercedes ni olúwa ń dùn lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn ní Fẹlá fi lọ ra Mercedes owó ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ fi lọ ra Mercedes. Bí nǹkan tẹ̀yìn olówó fi ń ṣakọ sílùú ẹ bá mi kógi sórí ẹ̀ igi ìdáná ni ó. Fẹlá wa lọ sí stúdíò rẹ̀ ó wá lọ kọrin gbá mi létí kí n dolówó ó gbọ́wọ́ sókè ò lè gbé lẹ̀ ẹ̀rú ń bà ẹni. Ó ní Fẹlá ń sọ lọ́ọ̀ ni. So if you slap me, I will go to court and I will claim damages against you. So
Fẹlá
Fẹlá nìyẹn èèyàn pàtàkì ní Fẹlá àjọjà fẹ́tọ̀ ọmọ ènìyàn ó tiẹ̀ kọrin tó jẹ́ pé táwọn ará ìlú wa bá gbórin tó kọ tó bá gbọ́ dáadáa tó dẹ̀ forin Fẹlá ṣe ká ní pé nǹkan tó gbẹni ọ̀rọ̀ gbọ́n wà ń bẹ àníwà ń wàhálà tá a wà lónìí. Ó kọrin nígbà táwọn Buhari gbé sẹ́wọ̀n láì pààyàn láì tẹ̀sọ́fin. Fẹlá kọrin Beast of No Nation ní United Nations ẹgbẹ́kẹgbẹ́ pé ńlú wa àwọn kan ń wọ aṣọ ológun àwọn kan ń wọ agbádá wọ́n ń wọ aṣọ civilian wọ́n ń wọ suit pé ẹranko pátápátá ni wọ́n ó lẹ́ranko pátápátá ni ọ̀gbẹ́ni Buhari. Fẹlá kọrin náà ńgbà tó jáde lẹ́wọ̀n lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ará ìlú ò gbọ́ nǹkan tí Fẹlá ń sọ pé oníjọ̀gbọ́n lélẹ́yìí òun ní ìlú wa fi wà nínú wàhálà gidigidi lónìí. Tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ti Fẹlá o.
Ẹ ṣeun ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa orí ètò Yorùbá Gbòde ni ẹ wà tí ẹ ti ń gbọ́ wa àgbà amòfin alàgbà Fẹ́mi Fálànà SAN àwọn ni à ń gbà lálejò. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tí ẹ wà lórí rédíò ẹ máa gbọ́ wa lọ ó dùn mí pé ẹ ní láǹfààní láti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tẹ́ wà lórí YouTube ẹ pín bíi kárí ilé ní àjọ máa gbádùn ètò yìí lọ. Bákan náà ni ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tẹ́ wà ní Ojútáyé tá ń pè ní. Ǹjẹ́ ìdájọ́ kankan tiẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ nípa ikú màmá Fẹlá torí a rí pé Fẹlá gangan ó pariwo síta pé bí wọ́n pa màmá òun ni àwọn sójà mẹ́rìírí ǹjẹ́ ìdájọ́ kankan ṣẹlẹ̀ lórí ẹ̀ àbí gbàmọ́bínú kankan wáyé látọ̀dọ̀ ìjọba àpapọ̀.
Ṣé mọ̀ pé àwọn ará ilé Kútì lábẹ́òkúta wọn wà lára àwọn èèyàn wa tó jẹ́ pé tí ìyà bá jẹ wọn á ní ká fi gbogbo ẹ̀ sọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Àwọn Kútì wọ́n bájọba fà á wọ́n lọ ilé ẹjọ́ wọ́n dẹ̀ béèrè owó gbàmábínú ṣùgbọ́n láti High Court dé Supreme Court àwọn ìjọba wa àwọn ilé ẹjọ́ wa wọ́n ní pé a lè ṣèjọba ká gbowó lọ́wọ́ ìjọba nítorí pé ìjọba ò lè burú títí kó di pé ìjọba ní ó tún máa bẹ àwọn ará ìlú ìyẹn pé ìjọba ò lè ṣẹ̀ sófin. The king can do no wrong. Ọba tó wà ní ìjọba ní Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́. Supreme Court wá fi lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́rùn ní judgment tí Justice Ṣọ́kà pé wọ́n ní under the 1963 constitution la fi dá ẹjọ́ yìí o pé lónìí ìyẹn ní 1979 pé a ti ní constitution míì ó sọ pé tí ìjọba bá ṣẹ̀yàn ń sìn ìjọba gbọ́dọ̀ bẹ̀ẹ́ ní gbangba ìjọba dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ sanwó nítorí náà àwọn ará ilé Fẹlá àwọn ìyá Fẹlá ò borí nílé ẹjọ́ ṣùgbọ́n Supreme Court wá ń sọ ń sìn pé látòní lọ pé ẹni bá ṣẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ìjọba máa bẹ̀ ìjọba dẹ̀ sanwó fún ibi tá a wà lónìí nìyẹn o ṣùgbọ́n ìyá Fẹlá wọ́n jẹ́ ọmọ ọdún méjìdínlọ́gọ́rin nìyá Fẹlá àwọn sójà jù wọ́n síta lórí wíńdò nǹkan tó pa wọ́n nìyẹn o ẹni tá a bá dẹ̀ pa ìyá Fẹlá ó jóbìnrin kan tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n jà fún ìlú wa wọ́n ṣe gudugudu mẹ́fà gudugudu méje yàyà mẹ́fà lọ́jọ́ nígbà tá à ń bá àwọn òyìnbó jà ẹ ti ẹ̀ rántí pé 1947 ìyá Fẹlá bá àwọn òyìnbó jà lábẹ́òkúta pé ẹ lè máa gba owó orí lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọkùnrin kẹ́ tó máa gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn obìnrin àwọn ìyàwó wọn. Ọba Abẹ́òkúta ọba Adémọ́lá tó wà lẹ́yìn àwọn ìbò ìyá Fẹlá ṣe tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n lé kúrò lórí oyè obìnrin tó lágbára ní ìyá Fẹlá. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé òun ni obìnrin tó kọ́ wa ọkọ̀ ní orílẹ̀ ní gbogbo Áfíríkà.
Egun tegun ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọnìyàn ni ẹ ń jà fún ní gbogbo àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ yín sí káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè àgbáyé. Lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta yìí ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gbẹnusọ fún ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ṣòwòrẹ́ tí ó ń gbìyànjú láti ṣe ààrẹ tó sì jẹ́ lámèétọ́ tó ń fa àìṣedéédé ìjọba tí ó ń fà sí gbangba. Níbi tí ọ̀rọ̀ Ṣòwòrẹ́ wá dé dúró àgbọ̀ kó lọ síwájú tààrà mọ́ ṣé kò ní lè jáde Àbújá náà ni ó wà kò ní lè darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹbí rẹ̀ ṣé ara ìdájọ́ òdodo náà nù àbí báwo ló ṣe rí?
Ẹni tó bá ìjọba jà ń lò wá kò dàbí ibi tẹ wà Amẹ́ríkà ní o Canada ìlú Gẹ̀ẹ́sì àti gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ bá ìjọba jà kẹ̀dẹ̀ máa rìn fàlàlà ní títì kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ń lò wá ẹni máa bá ìjọba jà wàhálà ni tá a bá gbé sí àmọ́ ìjọba lè pa àbí kó jólè rẹ̀ nítorí ìdí èyí ọ̀rọ̀ Ọmọyẹlé Ṣòwòrẹ́ kò gbọ́dọ̀ yà wá lẹ́nu àti ìyà tíjọba ń fi jẹ ṣùgbọ́n Ṣòwòrẹ́ jẹ́yàn kan tó jẹ́ pé kò fẹ́ kíyà jẹ ọmọ ènìyàn àbí káwọn tó ń jí owó ìlú kan máa sùn bó ti wù wọ́n. Nítorí náà kì í jẹ́ káwọn ìjọba gbádùn. Ìjọba tiẹ̀ ń rò lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta pé wàhálà kan la fà pẹ̀lú ọ̀gbẹ́ni àbákú jẹ́ kó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ní tó wà l'Àbújá yìí ń sìn bó ti ń kọ nǹkan tó ń bú wa ló ní káwọn èèyàn kan máa wọ́de òun náà ń bá wọn wọ́de o. Ní ọ̀rọ̀ ilé ẹjọ́ à ń fà lọ́wọ́. Ẹjọ́ tíjọba gbé lọ ilé ẹjọ́ ni pé ó fẹ́ gbàjọba lọ́wọ́ Buhari torí pé ó fẹ́ wọ́de. Ìjọba ti mú ẹlẹ́rìí kan wá ṣùgbọ́n gbà tàbí yẹn láwọn ìbéèrè kan ọjọ́ náà lẹ́jọ́ ti bàjẹ́ o. Ìjọba wa fẹ́ lọ wájú lórí ẹjọ́ yìí ṣùgbọ́n tí ò bá jọ̀rọ̀ pé àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ilé ẹjọ́ wọ́n yan ṣẹ́lódì lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta ìyẹn wọ́n lọ strike àbá ti parí ẹjọ́ Sowore. Ó dá mi lójú pé kò síbi tí ìjọba ń lọ lórí kéèsì Sowore. Wọ́n ní kó wà ní ìhámọ́ l'Àbújá kó má jáde l'Àbújá ṣùgbọ́n a ti gbé ẹjọ́ ilé yìí lọ sí Court of Appeal. Láìpẹ́ ọjọ́ ó yẹ ká lè gbọ́ ẹjọ́ yìí torí tí ìrìbí tán ní kéèyàn má kúrò nílùú kan nítorí pé ó ń jẹ́jọ́ lọ́wọ́. Àwọn tó jí owó ìlú those who have stolen billions wọ́n gbàwé nílé ẹjọ́ pé àwọn ń lo ìbò láti rí àwọn ará ilé wọn àbí láti lọ ṣèpàdé lọ́hùn àbí láti ti lọ tọ́jú ara wọn nítorí pé wọ́n ti bà hospital ilé wa jẹ́. Àwọn adájọ́ dẹ̀ ń gbà wọ́n láyè torí ilé ìlàngbé lọ ilé ẹjọ́ Court of Appeal. Ẹ wá, this man has not stolen a dime but àwọn tó jí owó ìlú tó fa gbogbo wàhálà tó wà ń lù wọ́n ń lọ wájú wọ́n ń lọ sẹ́yìn. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kó náà jáde kó lọ rí àwọn ìyàwó àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ á wà lórí eléyìí.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Mo tọrọ gáfárà o ìyá wa. Mo ní ìbéèrè kan fún bàbá wa.
Adéyínká.
Yes ma. Mo tọrọ gáfárà lọ́wọ́ yín mà. Mo ní ìbéèrè kan lọ́wọ́ bàbá wa. Nígbà tí mo kéré mo máa ń ka pépà fọ́tò wọn máa ń wà lórí pépà wọ́n ní irùngbọ̀n tó pọ̀ ńgbà náà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ìkéré gan ṣe ní Adéyínká.
But ìgbà tí mo ń sọ ibi primary school ni mo wà tí mo máa ń ka pépà tí dáàdì mi máa ń kó wálé ńgbà yẹn. Máa ti rí Fẹ́mi Fálànà wọ́n young púpọ̀ ńgbà yẹn wọ́n dẹ̀ brilliant. Màá rí wọn nínú fọ́tò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni màá rí wọn nínú fọ́tò pẹ̀lú Fẹlá láàrin Fẹlá bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́. Màá wá rí irùngbọ̀n wọn màá dé gbọ́ bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ nínú pépà ńgbà yẹn máa ká gbogbo ẹ̀ máa lọ gbé dictionary máa wo àwọn òyìnbó tí wọ́n ní wọ́n sọ ńgbà yẹn. So àtìgbà yẹn ni mo ti máa ń follow wọn tí mo máa ń tẹ̀lé wọn tí mo máa ń pẹ́ tí mo bá dàgbà mo fẹ́ dàbí Fẹ́mi Fálànà àmọ́ ọ̀nà ògbàbẹ̀ mi ò ṣe lọ́yà ṣùgbọ́n mo ń tẹ̀lé wọn lẹ́yìn pẹ̀lú gbogbo ìgbésí ayé wọn bó ṣe ń ṣe. Nǹkan kan wà tó wá máa ń jọ mí lójú. N tó máa ń jọ mí lójú ni pé mo máa ń fẹ́ mọ àwọn ẹyẹ tó ṣu àwọn akọni èèyàn. Torí èèyàn ńlá ló lè bí èèyàn ńlá. Ta ni bàbá àti ìyá wọn? Báwo ni dáàdi wọn ṣe jẹ́ because eyín ọkọ lè dà déédéé máa ṣe gbogbo tó ń ṣe yìí tí ìbá ṣe pé ẹnìkan ní influence lórí life wọn. Nígbà tí bàbá wa Fẹ́mi Fálànà máa sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìyá Fẹlá pẹ̀lú pé akitiyan àti akíkanjú obìnrin ni ìyá Fẹlá bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni àbúrò wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ṣe rí. Ta ni bàbá Fẹ́mi Fálànà? Ta ni ìyá Fẹ́mi Fálànà? Báwo ni wọ́n ṣe wá di nǹkan dì lẹ́nu yìí? Kí ló jẹ́ kí wọ́n akíkanjú ọlọ́gbọ́n ẹ̀ tó mú òye tó jẹ́ Yorùbá pọ́nbélé? Báwo ẹyẹ wo ló ṣu wọn?
Ẹ ṣé o. Bàbá tèmi àgbẹ̀ ni wọ́n nílàwọ̀ Èkìtì. Ìyá mi wọ́n ń ránṣọ fáwọn obìnrin. ṣùgbọ́n ìyá mi kú nígbà tí mo jẹ́ ọmọdé pátápátá bí nǹkan bí ọdún méjì. At infancy. Bàbá mi kú nígbà tí mo fẹ́ wọ secondary school. Àwọn ará ilé mi ló rán mi lọ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan ò le tó yìí ńgbà yẹn àwọn ọmọ mẹ̀kúnnù ń lọ léèwé àwọn tí ò ní bàbá tí ò ní ìyá wọ́n ń lọ léèwé nítorí pé ìjọba wọ́n ń gbìyànjú ńgbà yẹn. After free education ìjọba wa ń try secondary school subsidized fees ni ńgbà adé university àsanwó rárá ìjọba tó ń fún wa ní bursary federal government fún wa ní loan ṣùgbọ́n lónìí tó bá mọ ń sọ fún gómìnà ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta gómìnà owó tẹ̀ní káwọn ọmọ mẹ̀kúnnù máa sọ yìí ó máa lè tí wọ́n bá tó bá jẹ́ time sáà yìí ni wọ́n lọ yunifásitì ni wọ́n fẹ́ lọ yunifásitì kò ní ṣeé ṣe nítorí mo mọ bàbá àti ìyá rẹ̀. So the point I'm making, I lost my parents when I was very young, but the system educated me virtually. But because I grew up in an environment where I was taught to fight injustice, I was encouraged. And so nobody has ever in my home was someone in your meetings of Femi, ito shede to when that bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn lọ bá àwọn ará ilé mi ẹnìkan ò mà lè bá jọba jà kó borí èyí tọ́mọ yín ṣe yìí mà tó ńgbà mi tí níyàwó mi tí bímọ àwọn Gani àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n mà ti bímọ wọ́n mà ti kọ́lé bọ́mọ yín wí bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ńgbà mi ní àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ náà kò ń ṣe kó wọ́n ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn Gani kò ń ṣe kó wọ́n ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Ṣóyínká kò ń ṣe pé àwọn náà ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ nígbà tó kéré bíi tèmi náà ẹ fi mí lẹ̀ nígbà ó yá àdúrà làwọn ará ilé mi ń gbà fún mi táwọn èèyàn bá lọ bá wọn ẹ bọ́mọ yín wí wọn ẹ máa bá a gbàdúrà fún ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ń ṣe nǹkan tí gbogbo wa fẹ́ máa ṣe ẹ filẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ló tán ẹ jẹ́ mọ ṣe tiẹ̀ nígbà ó yá mo níyàwó àndẹ̀ lọ báyàwó mi ìsúmà ṣó fẹ́ di widow lọ́sàn-án gangan you are still young ìyàwó mi ẹ ṣe àmọ́ gbàdúrà fún Mike lóòótọ́ lónìí nobody ever tried to persuade me against what I'm doing. Thank you very much. Ẹ
ṣeun. Ẹ jẹ́ kí ẹ máa tẹ̀síwájú ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tí ẹ bá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń wọlé ohun ẹni tí ẹ ń gbọ́ tí ẹ sì ń wò àwọn ní àgbà amòfin alàgbà Fẹ́mi Fálànà SAN. Mo fẹ́ fi àsìkò yìí ṣe àfihàn àwọn èèyàn wa tó jẹ́ pé ńgbà tí a bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí a dárúkọ wọn ò tí ì débí nígbà náà. Lára wọn ni bàbá Adéníran Adébóyè ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ìlú bàbá àṣírò. Mo ń fi àsìkò yìí fi yín hàn kí ẹ lè bá a láǹfààní láti kí amòfin àgbà. Bàbá Adéníran Adébóyè àárí fọ́tò yín mo gbìyànjú kí n gbé fọ́tò yín jáde. Bàbá ṣe pẹ́yìn lẹ paná fọ́tò ẹ̀ tán àti rí yín nìsín. Bí wọ́n ní àsìkò béèrè ò tí ì yá o.
Mo ẹ kú wájú o.
Ṣé kò sà?
Mo kí olóòtú àti àwọn atọ́kùn pé wọ́n kú iṣẹ́ o. Mo sì kí amòfin Fẹ́mi Fálànà àti ẹ̀ ti pàdé rí nígbà tí wọ́n wá sílẹ̀ yìí ní tí wọ́n bá bá ẹgbẹ́ ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá ṣèpàdé ó ti pẹ́ ó lè ti tógún ọdún mi ò rántí mọ́.
Bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé pàṣà.
Gbogbo ohun tí ẹ ń sọ ó ṣe wà. Ṣùgbọ́n mo wá fẹ́ béèrè nǹkan tẹ́ mẹ́nu kàn pé àwọn kan nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá sọ pé àtúntò làwọn wá. Àwọn kan nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá sì sọ pé ìṣèlú ọlọ́mọ mọ́mú yẹ. Wọ́n ní tí apá ò bá ṣe é sán kò sí là kálẹ̀. kí ni ẹ̀yin náà sì wá sọ pé àwọn èèyàn wa o wọn ò lè bá ìjọba jà bí wọ́n tiẹ̀ wà lórí ẹ̀tọ́ wọn ò lè bá ìjọba jà torí ìjọba lè pa wọ́n. Ìjọba tó bá lè pààyàn ayé ò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà tá a bá kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣé kò wá yẹ kí àwọn èèyàn sọ pé àwọn ò fẹ́ ìjọba tó jẹ́ pé táwọn bá sọ pé ibi yóò tọ́ àwọn lè fẹ̀mí àwọn wé kí lẹ rí sí?
Ṣé pọ̀tà gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ti sọ wájú ẹ kú àtijọ́ mọ́ra wọn rí mo rántí yín lóòótọ́ ẹ kú iṣẹ́ náà o àjíǹde ara máa jẹ́ o ẹ ṣe fún ìbéèrè pàtàkì ìgbésíwájú mi gẹ́gẹ́ mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan àwọn kan ń béèrè fún àtúnṣe tó ìyẹn restructuring evolution of powers àwọn kan sọ pé yìí ta ṣe ìtì tó kó ní kálukú máa lọ lé ìyá rẹ̀ bílé bàbá rẹ̀ níbi tá a wà lónìí látọ̀dọ̀ tèmi èmi ń sọ fún ìjọba lónìí ẹ wá o ẹ lè máa bá àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò jà bí àwọn Ìgbò torí pé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ tiwọn wọ́n ń gbìyànjú lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn kò bọ́ sí ẹ lè máa gbógun pẹ̀lú wọn lónìí bí ìjọba ti ń ṣe wọ́n pààyàn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nítorí pé wọ́n sọ pé àwọn ò ṣe mọ́. Mo dẹ̀ ń sọ fún ìjọba pé ogun tẹ́ ń jà nílẹ̀ Ìgbò ẹ lè win there because I can't see the competence of the government. You're fighting terrorists, insurgents, you're fighting bandits, you're also fighting separatists. I can't see how the government can win all the battles at the same time. And that is what I've just said today. Number two, I fight for human rights, including the right to self-determination. It's embedded in Article 20 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Charter yẹn kò tẹ̀ ń ṣe charter lásán àti sọ́dọ̀fin ló wà. It's been domesticated. And currently, èmi ni lọ́yà àwọn ará Western Sahara tó ń jà fómìnira lábẹ́ Morocco. Èmi náà ni lọ́yà àwọn Ògbò ní Nàìjíríà. Èmi ni lọ́yà àwọn ará Uganda ní Liberia. After ogun abẹ́lé lọ́hùn, àwọn kan gba ilẹ̀ wọn yìí tá à ń pè ní abandoned property. Èmi ló bá wọn gbẹ́jọ́ yìí lọ sí ECOWAS court l'Abuja à ń fà lọ́wọ́. Nítorí náà mi ì lè ní àwọn tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ ọmọ ènìyàn àbí náà sọ pé àwọn ń jà fúnjọba tiwantiwa báwa ò ṣe mọ́ Nàìjíríà a gbọ́dọ̀ bá wọn jà. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tá à ń sọ ni pé àwọn tí ò báyìí ṣe tán sì rò pé àtúnṣe tó pé ó ṣeé ṣe ń lù wá. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti ṣe tán pé Iléyá ẹ máa gbìyànjú láti máa bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ náà ní kí lẹ ṣì rí ń bẹ̀ yẹn o. Àwa tí ń sọ fún yín lónìí òjòjò tó ń ṣàbọ̀yàdé pé gbogbo ọlọ́yà ní í ṣe mẹ̀kúnnù làwa ń jà fún. Àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù ilẹ̀ Haúsá, Fúlàní àti gbogbo wọn ìyà tó ń jẹ wọ́n ju ti Yorùbá lónìí nítorí pé àwa ti lọ léèwé. Nítorí àwọn tó bá ti lọ léèwé ìyà wọn dínkù. Nítorí pé àwọn ará bí ò lọ léèwé tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ìyà tó ń jẹ wọ́n pọ̀. Today sir, go and find out. The Southwest is the most peaceful part of Nigeria, in spite of all the harassment. But I continue to insist, and this is where I challenge those of you abroad. Insecurity tá ń bá jà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lónìí àti gbogbo Nàìjíríà. Lè sọ pé a kó bọn fáwọn ṣakabula, dengon fáwọn Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. Mo sọ fáwọn gómìnà wa, no. Security is technology based. Lè fight insecurity láì ní drones, devices tracking devices, AK-47, CCTV cameras. Lagos is the largest city in the world without CCTV cameras. It's primitive. So anybody can commit any offense in the night and you won't be caught. Now, our governors have to be challenged. And by security vote, Parliament is secure. That's number one. Number two, should be meta saying, our criminals come, one kidnap a 27-year-old American in Niger Republic. American troops, I want ìjọba Trump in just no. Yes, but Trump ni. So ìjọba de wo wọ́n jókòó sí Washington, wọ́n lo drone. On the BT boy where he was being kept. Wọ́n dẹ̀ rán àwọn ológun láti America. Wọ́n Nigeria náà tẹ̀ lọ sí Sokoto lọ́hùn. Tó ń dà bọ́m̀bọ̀ àwọn wèrè. Tó dẹ̀ gbọ́ mọ́. We're asking our government, why must criminals kidnap people? Alomadawo is senseless. So that's payment of ransom. But loaning, and I'm asking our government, if I, as Femi Falan, although the government will not give me guns, any of you, like, you know, Ẹ̀gbọ́n wa Banji Ayilogbe, wọ́n lè lọ lé lónìí. Èmi fẹ́ ṣọlidé Nàìjíríà, Commissioner of Police, IG, ǹjẹ́ lè fún mi níbọn. I need a license to bear weapons to protect me and my family. Wọ́n fún wọn ní fáwa, wọ́n lè sọ pé a fẹ́ yìnbọn fáwọn tó wà níjọba. Now, if an individual can be granted license to bear weapons, it means sọ fún àwọn gómìnà wa, what stops you from acquiring AK-47 pump action and the rest of them for 5,000 people or 10,000 people in Lagos State, to protect over 20 million people? If our own people are not asking questions about how to organize our own society, and let me tell you this, we now currently suffer from siege mentality. Oh, àwọn Fulani kan. For me, even gbà táwọn ológun tó jẹ́ àwọn tó wà lókè ọya ló ń ṣèjọba nù wa. Me, I never treated myself as a second-rate citizen. It's either you belong or not. Ngo Obasanjo wà ńbẹ̀ ọdún mẹ́jọ. He didn't change anything. Jonathan did not change anything for 6 years or 5 years. So if Buhari does not change anything, what can we do to force them to recognize that we have a region and we can develop at our own pace? Nobody is asking us to the edge of. Quote me on the Senitoni cannot develop in Yoruba. And that is, I can tell you that just today, it has just been published now, based on our struggle, all the solid minerals in each region of the country. Why should you allow Chinese and private individuals to be mining gold in Ilesha, Igbeti, Emabu in Igbeti, and the rest of them? Ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti wá sọ lónìí pé every state can set up a mining company with a view to mining the resources in that state. Bàbá ṣe yẹn tán, mo ti pa àwọn èèyàn mi Niger Delta lónìí. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ sọ pé ìjọba àpapọ̀ ṣe dáadáa o. Ngbò bá yá, we are going to oil resources. And I have insisted, I've written to Buhari, you cannot continue to give oil blocks to individuals. It's illegal. Ngbà tẹ́ bá gba epo tó wà lẹ́yìnkùlé mi, t'Abuja ń control ẹ̀ fún gbogbo ìlú. You cannot give oil block to individuals who will become instant billionaires. President Nkati ẹ̀kọ̀wé kan, bí president kan mi ní dárúkọ ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ìyá mọ̀ pé ó fún girlfriend ẹ̀ ní oil block nílùú wa. And you can't run a country like that. But we must demand for our rights. Loni, Akwa Ibom has the best domestic airline in Nigeria. Ibom Air. Under this under this distorted federal arrangement. Akwa Ibom has an airport, Imo State has an airport, Delta State has an airport, Anambra State has just commissioned its own airport. I think that was on April 30th. But no state in the southwest has an airport or an airline. Not even a regional airline. Now Ghana is 31 million people. Lagos is 21 million people. Ghana has 99 telecommunication companies. We have Oduanet. Ask them when you get home, what has happened to Oduanet? Those who have interest in MTN and Glo and Airtel and whatever, Oduanet, Bera, and these are the questions we're asking. Today, who is controlling the commerce in Yoruba land? Who is controlling agriculture in Yoruba land? You can't feed yourself. And nobody is asking us no good. We used to produce cocoa. All the development we are talking about under Awolowo, under the Awolowo regime, it was on the basis of taxes, revenue from cocoa. Today, everybody has left the farm. And we're not doing anything to promote mechanized farming in our region. Yes. No. No, professionals, Mawa. I was never a farmer. There will be professionals. We must have lawyers. We must have bankers. We must also have those of you abroad. I cannot say everybody must go to
Go ahead.
The point I'm trying to make, so that we don't rush and don't address, because I have one question about the new Republic, Lola. The crisis will continue because we are not challenging Lagos. The economy of Lagos is the 6th largest in Africa. What is the quality of life in Lagos of an average person better than what you have in Ekiti or Sokoto? These are the questions some of us are asking. Paloni my control economy southwest. Lonely. Nobody. And my brother, what do they go to do in Abuja? To share poverty. To share poverty. The last year is $34 billion. At natural gas, $34 billion. The budget of Nigeria last year was $30 billion. The population of Nigeria is 206 million. That of Brazil is 208 million. The budget of Brazil last year was $650 billion. You can Google. To Nigeria, $30 billion. So poverty like Shianua. Yet, you oil only, you crude oil. Cocoa double the price of crude oil.
Mr. Femi.
That's what I'm asking you to do. Try and develop your own region. Nobody is asking you.
Let us
Please, let us engage this man. We are not talking to Nigerians, we are talking to experienced, knowledgeable people overseas, please. Dr. Olowu from Canada.
Okay.
Listen, please. It's odd. Mo fẹ́ bèrè question lọ́wọ́ agbẹjọ́rò Fẹ́mi Fálànà. It's not so much of a question because periodically we a máa ń bára wa sọ̀rọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ máa kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ kẹ́bà mọ̀ pé between us, no matter how pointed the discussion may be, there is no love lost. We àtìmọ́ra wa ti pẹ́. But màá kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ibi kékeré kan ní 1998 èmi àti Dr. Gbode wọ́n invite wa sí seko abambo adé airport èmi ló ṣáájú wọ́n wá gba passport wọ́n mú passport mi dání àwọn tó wà lẹ́yìn mi ń lọ wọn ò fún mi tèmi Dr. Gbadege ṣe ní Bánjí kí ló dé mo ní wọn ò fún mi passport mi nígbà first time tá a máa lọ lé lẹ́yìn ìgbà tá a fa kùrákù Abacha Dr. Gbadege ṣe wá ní ok tọ́n bá fún ẹ a ti sọ fún bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ àti Fẹ́mi Fálànà kan wọ́n ti wà ń ta wéré náà fún mi ní passport wọ́n ṣe fún mi ní passport nìyẹn tá a méjèèjì jáde mo wá dé ta mo wá béèrè àti bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ tí Dr. Gbadege ṣe ó lè má kàn sọ yẹn ní oríṣiríṣi pé wọ́n fi wálẹ̀ gbà tó sọ. So we know and periodically I talk to him. Gbogbo nǹkan tí agbẹjọ́rò sọ yìí la fi sọ pé Yorùbá ó tásìkò ká máa lọ. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń sọ pé kò ṣe nǹkan kan tó gómìnà ta nínú wọn tí Yorùbá bá jẹ́ Yorùbá tó wà tó lè jẹ́ gómìnà. Kò sí ṣé bí Fẹ́mi Fálànà ṣe títí tó lọ sẹ́kìtì ó fẹ́ lọ contest mẹ́. What happened? The better bó o ṣe dáa tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn èèyàn máa gbowó lọ́wọ́ èèyàn míì. Àwọn tó rán àwọn wọ̀nyí síbẹ̀ iṣẹ́ wọn náà ń jẹ́ kì í ṣe iṣẹ́ àwọn ará ìlú. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tutù láti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe tá à ń rìn fáàsì dè ní Awólọ́wọ̀ ti ṣe kí àwọn Gẹ̀ẹ́sì tó fi wálẹ̀ by 1959 ó ti end gbogbo iṣẹ́ tá à ń praise Awólọ́wọ̀ sí. The moment tí àwọn ìjọba ti bí tó jẹ́ pé àwọn Fúlàní ló ń jó lórí wọn dènà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbógun náà ń lo àwọn kan nù wá Awólọ́wọ̀ ò ní sinmi títí ìgbà yẹn láti ìgbà yẹn títí tó fi kú. Ó lẹ̀wọ̀n ó lọ gbogbo ẹ̀ ó pẹ́ wọ́n whisper sí pé òun náà máa gbéjàmbá fún kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ ẹ máa wò ó nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ point out ni pé restructuring tá à ń sọ ìgbà tá bí pa ń whisper ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní ẹ fẹ́ dógun jalú nìyẹn ẹ fẹ́ balkanize Nàìjíríà ní restructuring tí gbogbo wọn wá embrace sí. The point is that Èkó tá à ń sọ yìí half of the income of Lagos ń lọ sọ́dọ̀ federal government tó ń bá rí ẹ̀tọ́ mọtí ní Sokoto àìdá kan gbé ẹsẹ̀ wọn in fact ní bí oṣù kan sẹ́yìn wọ́n náà kó bíà lọ́wọ́ àwọn kan wọ́n wó àwọn bíà yẹn wọ́n destroy ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ tá a bá wá kó gbogbo àwọn VAT eléyìí tó ń pè ní VAT ní Nàìjíríà tá à ń pè ní sales tax ní other places tó ń bá kó jọ àwọn nọ́ọ̀sì tí ò kí mọtí àwọn ló bá take lion share. Èkó tá à ń sọ yìí apart from oil port náà ti realize owó jù Lagos ò ní control over his port there are a lot of money ta la fẹ́ rí ní gómìnà sí pé kò ṣe dáadáa gómìnà ìlú bí ìjọ tí Buhari wá sí flyover lórí 2 lane kínní ó ní òun dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tí ò bá jẹ́ tiẹ̀ ní owó kì bá ṣe gómìnà láéláé ṣé èèyàn ló fẹ́ ṣe
president.
No ó lóun kì bá di president ó ní tí aká ní kì í ṣe pé ó help pé torí tiẹ̀ lòun fi di mo ní clip ẹ̀ ó lóun kì í tẹ̀ mọ́ ọkọ tó sọ.
Mo fẹ́ mú ìbéèrè bíi ẹ̀ka àbí méjì.
Ní sùúrù ọ̀gbẹ́ni woman yìí ní sùúrù ìbéèrè kan gbogbo nǹkan tí kó má pẹ́ ibi tá a bá sọ dé náà ni ṣé àkókò ọ̀pá wa ṣeré bí ni gbogbo nǹkan bá ń sọ kì í ṣe fún tèmi is to respond to what he has said kì í ṣe tá a bá dá ìpínlẹ̀ Yorùbá tá a sọ kì í ṣe léyìí táwọn jẹgúdújẹrá ìwà fẹ́ lọ ṣọ̀gá ń bẹ̀ a máa tú ṣani. Right now mo ń ṣe research kan lórí party politics in the 60s or 50s starting from 1955 ní area mi. Action the minutes of meeting of the action group wà lọ́wọ́ mi tí n bá kà in fact mi ò believe pé àwọn tá à ń rò pé kò kàwé láyé ọjọ́ yẹn tó ń bá ṣe meeting ní action group meeting ní local government ibẹ̀ náà ti máa sọ fáwọn tó ń lọ council yìí pé kán fọ́ nǹkan tá a decide yìí kẹ́sọ́ di law. Now gbogbo àwọn tá ẹ̀ sọ yìí ojú gbogbo wa ló ń ṣe tán bá ti kọ́kọ́ débẹ̀ bọ́n tiẹ̀ lẹ́tì local government tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n á council ẹ̀ wọ́n á bẹ̀ sí gbowó wọn. Ìlú ò lè ṣe nǹkan tá à ń sọ ni pé ẹjẹ́ á bẹ̀rẹ̀ àti ní reference nígbà wo lọ́wọ́ we will build from there. Àwọn jẹgúdújẹrá tó wà ń bẹ̀ yìí ò lè ever rọ́wọ́ mú. Ṣọ́básanjọ́ ló ń rọ́wọ́ mú nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni.
Thank you very much.
Kí lẹ rò wọ́n Ọbásanjọ́ fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà? Ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà tó Ọbásanjọ́ ń sọ tó ń bá ní kán lọ mú yàn wá ní street tó Ọbásanjọ́ wà kò ní kan wọ́n ti mú 100 people. Ẹ̀jà wọn ló ṣàyàgbàgbà pé àwa ní Yorùbá. So ẹ jẹ́ ká wò ó àsìkò ti tó. Some of the things tí agbẹjọ́rò sọ ó tiẹ̀ tún jẹ́ ká múra sí. Wọ́n ní wọ́n sọ fún federal government ipe ìjà tó ń bọ̀ tán bá Ìgbò jà wọn ò lè win láíláí nítorí pé wọ́n mú wọn lókè ọ̀yà lọ́hùn wọ́n tún fẹ́ kọjú sí Ìgbò táwa náà bá gbé tiwa ní west oníkàkọ́ a máa lọ sí tiẹ̀ ní àwa dúró a brilliant mind like you with some of us tá a lè mọ díẹ̀ àá ní báwo la ṣe máa túṣà. Gbogbo àwọn tá à ń sọ yìí tá bá ti ń sọ wípé ẹjẹ́ á tún Nàìjíríà ṣe ẹjẹ́ á ṣe restructuring kí náà ń sọ nǹkan mí náà sọ wọn ò fẹ́ ṣe. Number one àwọn ni majority nílé aṣòfin wọn ò lè jẹ́ kírú gbogbo kan wọ̀nyí kó ṣẹlẹ̀ and because of that it is high time kí Yorùbá kọ́ máa lọ tiwọn ká ṣẹ̀ wá túṣà. Kíyàmá àti ń jìyà yìí láti independent. Awolowo stop being our leader by 1959. Àti ó lọ sẹ́wọ̀n ó lọ gbogbo.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí bàbá Yínlóge mo ṣe máa padà pè yín.
Thank you, sir.
Ṣé alàgbà amòfin àgbà Fálànà ẹ dákun ẹ jẹ́ kí n mú ìbéèrè kan sí i látòrí àwọn èèyàn kẹ́ ẹ wá papọ̀ mọ́ nǹkan kí n tí ẹ bá fẹ́ sọ. Màá mú ìbéèrè Ọládòkun ìbéèrè ni mo fẹ́ kó o lọ tààrà èrò pọ̀ ìdí tí mo sì ṣe pé ọ ní iṣẹ́ takuntakun tó ń ṣe nípa ètò ààbò ní agbègbè Ìgbàràpá ṣùgbọ́n ìbéèrè kan láláǹfààní ẹ̀ torí pé àsìkò tá a ní lórí ètò yìí kò pọ̀ ó yá o Ọládòkun Ọládìran ó ti wà lójú ọpọ́n ìbéèrè ẹ.
Ẹ ṣé gan-an mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbà nínú ilé o bàbá wa dádì wa Yínlóge.
Lọ síbi ìbéèrè ìkíni yóò gbàsìkò ó yá wọn ti gbọ́ pé o kí wọn nìṣó ńlẹ̀ rìnlẹ̀.
Ó dá ìbéèrè mi lélẹ́yìí sà mo rí pé mo ń wo àwọn kílípù bí àwọn ìjàtẹ̀jà tó jẹ́ ìjàgbara mo ń wo some of them mo ń wo Oputa panel in fact eléyìí tí mo wò last was I think with Colonel Aliyu or someone like that.
Ọ̀nàbíọ́lá bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Yes, Ọ̀nàbíọ́lá mo rí bí ẹni yẹn ṣe ó ṣe wà exposed. I mean obviously you are able to expose that these people have more to their sleeve than meet the eye. But were you able to get justice? Will you say you were able to get justice for all of these cases? Torí mo rí pé gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ tí atọ́kùn ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan láti ìgbà tí àwa náà ti wà ní pínísì náà àwọn atọ́kùn tó jẹ́ bàbá fáwa o láti rí tẹ́tí ń jà. Will we continue to fight like this?
Ọládìran jẹ́ kí wọ́n dáhùn ó ti béèrè ìbéèrè ẹ̀ ó ní ǹjẹ́ wọ́n sì dájọ́ ó yá lára àwọn ìbéèrè tí ó jẹ èmi náà lógún ó ṣeun ìdájọ́ lórí òkúta panel.
Yeah, very straightforward. Number one, fún ẹ̀gbọ́n Banji Ayeloge, I think you must understand me very clearly. I am not opposed to your fight for self-determination. And I've warned you, you must try and carry everybody along. As I'm talking to you, the indigenous people of Lagos have come out to say, if you are breaking up Nigeria, Lagos will not be part of Oduduwa Republic. Some of the people in your own state, in Ondo State, are saying, like Ijo people, sorry, we are not going to be part of Yoruba Republic. And there are no, I'm just saying, my brother, and I'm saying I can understand your position. Those of you in the West, after all, you have the Quebec people in Canada who are asking for independence. You have the British people have left European Union. The people in Spain, the Catalonia people, also I can understand. But the point I'm making, for me, as we still have Nigeria today, we must continue to demand for our rights. Whatever what you are doing now, my brother, because you are not conditionalizing your struggle. What you are doing, you are helping our rulers. I won't call them leaders. Our rulers in the Southwest not to do anything because you have made them to believe, and you are telling our people, oh, I want Fulani Lambaja, but if that need separation, Catholic control commerce Yoruba. My brother, please let us modernize our region for now. That's my point. Number one, Nigeria is the only country where everybody sells drugs. And you can't want no boss Now, what stops us? I've been harassing our governors. What stops you from saying no Ministry of Health will issue patent medicine store licenses so that everybody that will dispense drugs? I'm currently addressing you from Cotonou. I'm in Benin Republic. I've gone to buy drugs this morning. Everybody, if I may see, you can't buy drugs on the road as we do in the Southwest today. That's number one. Number two, everybody comes to Lagos to ride Okada. Everybody from everywhere. And I said, gentlemen, and I've told your governors, you can't have people who are riding Okada in Lagos, killing our people. People cannot read road signs. So what stops you from saying nobody can ride Okada in Lagos if you have no school certificate where you will be asked to go to a training school for 2 weeks, 4 weeks? There are things we can take up because Republic. We must also get now to demand for our right. And these are my points. But once you believe, oh, we cannot make progress now because you need to know how I'm harassing people in government. And I can tell you, let me just tell you this. This one, just like here, you have your COVID-19 economic stimulus. Left for the people in Nigeria. What is their business? We're giving stimulus to anybody. And we told you, oh, you are practicing neoliberal economic policies dictated by the IMF and World Bank. In the West, they are giving stimulus. How can you say you won't give stimulus? Now, the central bank has set aside 3.2 trillion naira, out of which they have disbursed over 1 trillion. And I've challenged your people in power. I'm a member of a committee in Ekiti, COVID-19 response team. You know, I will need a 5 times, but we meet virtually, headed by Julie Pharmacy, Prince Adelisi Adeluyi. Now, because of that investment there, we've been able to get at least 5,000 young people to access funds from Abuja. That's apart from other things. And what I'm saying, Awolowo, and I can send to you, sir. You know, I can send to your forum the number of ranches in the southwest, in Iseyin, in Epe, in one of the towns in Jebu-Igbo or something, in Akunu, Nondose, in Okeako, you know, in the southwest. We were not bringing cattle from the north to the southwest. We had our own Malu, you know, Ella Bekete. Now, all that is gone. And it is not because of the Fulani in power that we cannot revive ranches. All the farm settlements are there. Fashola Farm and the rest of them. And those of you here, you must challenge our people to modernize governance so that even if Nigeria breaks up tomorrow, we will not be empty-handed. That is my position. But what you are simply saying, oh, I should come here and deceive you. Oh, Atisheton, we are now going tomorrow. I will not be so pedantic. The point I'm making, what can we do today to get mining companies established in the state so that it won't be the, what do you call them, Chinese and some people that will be mining the gold in Ilesha. By the time you are going to have Yoruba Republic, what mine at all? And that is the point I am making. Why do you revive cocoa industry in Ondo State? So that's all. Now on June 12th, yes, without the efforts, without the exposure in Oputa panel, and without the struggle we waged, even after the killing of Abiola in 1998, they would not have said it is the turn of the Yoruba people to produce the president of Nigeria, which is that we have killed your elected president. Now, can we have somebody? Do you know that if we had had a president, you know, who really believed in your struggle for 8 years were enough to reorganize that country and give everybody a sense of belonging and run a modern state. But we have all become so indolent, even in terms of challenging the people in power, that we're not longer asking for our right. Now, you talk of Lagos. Yeah, apart from asking the Yoruba people to produce, I'm talking of the ruling class, asking the Yoruba people to produce the president. The June 12th, the celebration of June 12th has now been codified by the state. Obasanjo never did it. Now we have forced the government to recognize June 12th as a public holiday in Nigeria. Apart from that, the highest award in Nigeria, reserved for president, GCFR award, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, has been awarded to Chief M.K. Abiola posthumously. Right now, the government is being pressurized. You must also give to the Abiola family, you know, the pension that is given to former heads of state. So it's not a total loss. And in the next couple of weeks, I think I'm going to court. You know, I just had the discussion with you know, the children of the late Mrs. Kudirat Abiola. We're going to court to ask for damages for illegal killing on the street of Lagos. So the point I'm making, Lagos is the 6th largest economy. If you take the economy of Lagos out of the economy of the West, you have only 91 billion naira. The economy of Lagos alone is equal to the economy of IGR of Lagos. It's 28 states put together. The figures are there. And I'm asking you, particularly those of you who are exposed in the West, get our people, whether you are talking of this distorted federalism or not. I'm telling you that other regions, some other states in this distortion are making much more progress than the Southwest. Education used to be our pride. Look at WAEC result every year. Look at JAMB result every year. Where is the position of the Southwest? Mbakon, Osun came 29th, Oyo came 27th out of 36 states WAEC result. Now, can you pride? So, and I'm simply saying, don't just throw up your hands in helplessness. Odibatabani Odua Republic. Can't make any progress.
Nobody is saying that.
That's all. Thank you.
Hello. Ìbéèrè Ọládìran. Amòfin àgbà ìbéèrè Ọládìran tó béèrè nípa àbájáde òkúta panel àti ìdájọ́.
No, mo ti sọ, yeah. Òkúta panel recommended that the case of Abiola be reopened. In the concept of the Nigerian state, they said, okay, we are declaring June 12th as a public holiday in honor of the election that we are not. We already apologized publicly. We are also giving Abiola a posthumous GCF award, which is reserved for all former heads of state in Nigeria. So far, but the struggle continues. That's the point I'm making.
Okay. Alàgbà Dípò Akínsípò ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tí ẹ bá ráyè béèrè ìbéèrè ní bínú torí aago 4:00 ni wọ́n ní láti lọ. Ìbéèrè méjì péré náà ni màá mú, ìkan wà láti ọ̀dọ̀ mi, ìkan wà látọ̀dọ̀ Alàgbà Dípò Akínsípò. Alàgbà Dípò Akínsípò ìṣẹ́jú kan.
Olótù. We can have all the questions. I will note them and then respond at once to save time.
Okay.
Okay. Ẹ ṣé gan Olótù. Ìbéèrè mi àkọ́kọ́, is any of the state of the governor in Nigeria allowed to import arms into the country? For example, can the governor of Ondo State import arms or fully arm the Amotekun Corps in Ondo State? That's number one. Then number two, are you saying that there are enough items on the concurrent list that can actually help the state to begin to put together a comprehensive economic package? Do they have that? Do they have that on that to improve their state without infringement of the federal government? Because the federal government has most of the items on the exclusive list. And then you also reference Lagos State. You've been living in Lagos State for quite a while. Where does Lagos State, if they are claiming that Gbode Leko wà, níbo lèkó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀, níbo lèkó ti parí, ṣé Ìdó ni, àbí Ìkẹjà, àbí Ìkòròdú, àbí dé Ṣàgámù?
Okay, ẹ jẹ́ ká dáhùn alàgbà, ẹ jẹ́ ká mú béèrè mi ká lè lọ.
Hello. Okay.
Ẹ jẹ́ àfimọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn.
Àti pé ó ìkú ẹyọ kan o, ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Nípa ti àwọn tó ń da ẹran, Ààrẹ Buhari ti sọ pé òun ní àṣẹ láti fún àwọn èèyàn láyè láti máa da ẹran káàkiri gbogbo ìlú Nàìjíríà tó pè ní cattle route all over the country. Ṣé òótọ́ ni àbí irọ́? Béèrè mi nìyẹn o.
Okay, ìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ́ kí n mú ìbéèrè ẹnìkan sí alàgbà Máyọ̀ Ògèdèǹgbé, Professor Máyọ̀ Ògèdèǹgbé, ẹ béèrè ìbéèrè yín. Mo ti tú yín lẹ̀, ẹ nawọ́ sókè, mo tú yín lẹ̀, mo ti tú yín sílẹ̀.
Olóòtú atọ́kùn fẹ́ béèrè ìbéèrè náà.
À ń wo bí a ṣe lè pín ẹ béèrè ìbéèrè yín, mi fẹ́ ká kọjá àsìkò tí a fún wọn. Ó yá alàgbà Máyọ̀ Ògèdèǹgbé, ẹ béèrè ìbéèrè yín ní ṣókí ká lè tètè lọ.
Ṣé ẹ ń gbọ́ mi àbẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ mi?
A ti ń gbọ́ yín báyìí.
Ẹ ṣeun. Mo dúpẹ́ fún mo ti ní ká má ṣe pleasantries. Question mo fẹ́ bi our knowledge amòfin. When the premise is faulty, can anything based on that premise be functional or legitimate? That's one. Because the differential worldviews so operating in Nigeria, the wrong contrast between the North and the South, especially those dominant ethnicities. And no matter what, when the structure is fundamentally flawed, do you think anything can ever work? Alima patch bá ṣe ń ṣe yìí. Ó kàn jẹ́ nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kí kẹ́ dáhùn.
Ẹ já mú ìbéèrè àwọn èèyàn méjì yẹn kó mọ́ bá wọ́ lura wọn. Ẹ ṣeun amòfin àgbà.
Thank you very much. First of all, màá fẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ pé I'm not just a lawyer. I am involved in the struggle of the masses of Africa, not just of Nigeria. So I'm involved in what is going on. As I did tell you, I'm currently in Cotonou. So I'm involved. I go around, to defend the masses of our people. So I am an unrepentant Pan-African person. So you must understand where I'm coming from. Two, let me tell you this. When the Amotekun, you can go and Google, when the Amotekun was set up, when it was announced, the federal government in Abuja roared like a lion, and through the Attorney General, it was said that Amotekun was illegal. Before any of the governor, of course, as usual, they were already confused. I came out to say, Mr. Attorney General, how dare you? What constitution are you talking about? In the Northeast region, you have the civilian JTF, Tongbebo, or you can't ask civilians to go and be confronting Boko Haram terrorists, empty-handed. In the Northwest, you have your Ishbal, arresting people for drinking wine or whatever. So what are you talking about? And it was at that stage that our governors found their voices, and the federal government was forced to say Amotekun should exist. Yes, you are right. Under the Constitution, under the Firearms Act, which is like your own situation in the US, under the Firearms Act, not everybody can bear arms. There is a provision for applying for firearms and ammunition, And I've asked our governors, since Buhari has now said the business of defending your people is yours, I don't agree with him because he's the commander-in-chief. Buhari is in charge of security forces. But unfortunately, our governors are not demanding for their rights. There is a Nigeria Police Council made up of 39 members. Buhari is only the chairman. The governors are members. So if you have 36 governors out of 39 who are members of the Nigerian Police Council, and that police council shall administer, organize, and supervise the Nigerian police force, and that body is not functioning, we have a duty to force them to work on importation of arms. In Lagos, I think under Governor Fashola, under the Fashola regime, our boys come, I won't say from where they are from, one Gbode, one pack, one day war Igboro, VI and Ikoyi, one rob banks, one day war both one pada. It was becoming a major problem in Lagos. So Governor Fashola did a study and discovered what to be done. So he rushed to Abuja. Mr. President, I think President Yar'Adua was in charge. This is what is happening in Lagos. We need to import certain arms and we need the license. And then, okay, yes, you have the license. What else? Tobacco train one time. We don't want tobacco weapons. We don't want them to be put in the central armory. They belong to you. Okay. What else? Tobacco train. No, tobacco one ton, tobacco one kiniton. We need to train the police personnel that will man them. Okay. What else? Tobacco train one time. If I compose one out of Lagos. Okay. Call the IG, call the NSA. All the licenses or the approvals were given. Governor Fashola imported these weapons. And with the deployment of the weapons, that problem, disappeared in Lagos. Secondly, our boys come back with bags of explosives. Some of them are blow it up. Again, as they were landing, they were arrested. Because terrorism is a federal offense. Governor Fashola again was in charge. He rushed to Abuja. Atimu terrorists so that others are not encouraged to invade the city with armed, explosives. Shefe try one because this is a federal offense. Abika washe okay, give us the fiat. Let the Attorney General of the federal government give us the fiat to go and try them. The fiat was given. And those boys were quietly tried. I think they were sentenced to 30, 40 years imprisonment. The point I'm making therefore, yes, the system is distorted, but for those who want to organize their own region, who wants to organize their own state, there's nothing that prevents you. Currently, the North-South divide has become a myth. The members of the ruling class in Nigeria are not divided, they are united. They are giving oil blocks to themselves. They are awarding contracts to themselves. They are granting duty waivers to themselves. Yoruba, Igbo, Bibi, all of them are united. It's the masses of our people that are divided and the elite. Now, the 6 regions in Nigeria, 6 regions have been recognized as federating units by law. It's in the constitution. Now, and I'm saying, let us have a regional economic system for now and use that to develop your region. Sir, my brother, the exclusive legislative, please. I have said earlier, notwithstanding the sanctity of that list or the immutability of the list, our state on fair develop. One disregard of the exclusively, one mura, and I've told you about airport. Airport, I think aviation is number 3 on the exclusive legislative list. And I'm saying that about four states have their own airports now. And I've told you about Akwa Ibom that has its own domestic airline. We have a think tank in Ibadan. Done. Development agenda for Western Nigeria. Done. How many of you have taken time to study the tons of documentation, papers they have produced with respect to the development of the Southwest, development of the economy of the Southwest, regional integration, and the rest of them? And I'm saying, yes, if the premise is faulty, I agree with you if the premise is faulty, but that premise is being fine-tuned through struggle. People are now demanding, want to control the resources of our region. And I'm simply telling you, in controlling the resources of the region, you must ensure that we are not transferring oppression from Abuja to the Yoruba Republic when you have it. And the point I'm making is this. And I'm not talking because I want to entertain you. Between 1999 and now, and if you're interested, I can make these cases available. We have gone to court. I've been part of a legal team that went to court. And we do this regularly. To take a number of powers from Abuja. A number of powers have been taken from Abuja. Abuja can no longer seize the local government fund or the money belonging to a state, as Obasanjo did with Lagos fund. We went to court, and the Supreme Court said it's illegal under this constitution. Secondly, the water in Lagos. If you wanted to dredge any part of Lagos, or you wanted sand from the sea, you had to go and get a license from Abuja. People have gone to court to say no. And the Court of Appeal has said, even in a judgment delivered by a northerner, the Honorable Justice Gabra, who is now in the Supreme Court, that under this constitution, inland waterways shall be controlled by state government. It is when it is intra-water, water between 2 states, that the federal government can come in, because neither state can control such water. You know, physical planning, unlike here, if you want to build a house in America, you need approval before in Nigeria. The approval has to come from Abuja. Lagos went to court. No. Oh, yes. Lagos said no. Physical planning is not in the exclusive list. And the Supreme Court so held that physical planning is the business of the state. Land use. And that is what if you still read the papers today, I think front page of the Tribune. And I say, no, Mr. Buhari, you say you are tracing grazing route. There has never been any grazing route in the southern part of Nigeria. And so what are you talking? You know, now, so if you are looking for grazing route, we have never had grazing route in the southern part of Nigeria. There is now the Land Use Act every land in Nigeria, the land in Nigeria is vested in the governor of each state for the people of the country, of that state. So these are my position. Now, I'm here, and I'm going to advise some of you who are engaging in sterile, cheap blackmail. It is too late in the day. For some of you who are sitting in your homes in the comfort of the West to abuse some of us who are involved in the struggle of our people for justice and fair play. And somebody is asking that I want to become Attorney General of Tinubu. That is the height of insult. Have nothing to do with APC, because both the APC and the PDP are one and the same. Why will I be offered the position of Attorney General? No, my sister, this is very important. I've been offered the position of the Attorney General before, even under a terrorist of a government. And so I beg you, if you have no arguments, please don't insult people. And that's not how you are going to have your republic. Please, madam, let's go on.
Can you disable the chat, please?
Let's move on.
Can you disable the chat? Oladigbolu, please disable the chat, engineer. This is what we don't do on Yoruba Gbode. Anybody who does that is going to get removed. We welcome intelligent questions. Ìbéèrè tó mọ́gbọ́n wá yàtọ̀ sí ká máa fẹ̀sùn kanra wa láì nídìí tàbí ká máa ṣe àrífín sí àlejò pàtàkì tí a gbé wá. Wọn ò nídìí láti wá tí ìbá ṣe pé wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìlú torí àsanwó fún wọn àsìgbà wọn síṣẹ́. Ọládìgbòlù ẹ tó sọ chat yẹn ẹ bá mi jáwé lọ gbélé fún wọn. Kí ètò Yorùbá Gbòde mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ alàgbà Fẹ́mi Fálànà tí wọ́n ti wà níbí láti àárọ̀. Àwọn tí Catholic àsìkò ti tó, ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ sọ wípé a máa dúró lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí a bá dágbére fún wọn. Wákàtí kan àbọ̀ ni àdéhùn sì ṣe pàtàkì torí pé a fẹ́ kí wọ́n láǹfààní láti wá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ níjọ́ míì. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé wọ́n máa wá.
Madam, I'm still okay. I'm still okay, madam. I'm still okay.
Oh, okay.
Ẹni tó sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, Ṣọlá, ẹni tó sọ nǹkan tó sọ yẹn, ó ní a ní ìdí àti háyà Fẹ́mi Fálànà láti padà sórí Yorùbá Gbòde.
No. Ẹ̀gbọ́n, madam, there is no problem at all. There's no problem at all. I was just joking. If you defame me, I will record it and sue you, but I'm just joking.
Fẹ́mi wá sue mi. Ìkànkíkan tí kóòtù bá ní kan sọ ìwọ náà ló máa san.
Inú mi dùn. Akọ́tún Yorùbá Gbòde. Ọlọ́run ti bá ẹ béèrè ìbéèrè kan tó dáwọn èèyàn sì tò lọ rẹpẹtẹ. Ìbéèrè kan ní kẹ́ béèrè ká lè pe ẹlòmíì.
Ẹ ṣé alàgbà Fẹ́mi Fálànà, ẹ káàbọ̀. Ìbéèrè tí mo fẹ́ béèrè ó dá lórí agbára tí ìpínlẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan ní. For example, the House of Assembly of every state under the Constitution have the right to make law, and the governor of the state can certify the law concerning the perimeter of the state. So if that is the truth, what are the reasons why the House of Assembly tó wọ́n lè ṣe àwọn òfin tó wà ní oríkèéríkèé ìpínlẹ̀ tiwọn tó múlẹ̀ yàtọ̀ sí ohun tí ìjọba àpapọ̀ ṣe pé wọ́n lè ṣe àbí wọ́n lè ṣe? Ìbéèrè kan. Ìkejì ni pé ìgbà tí Attorney General of the Federation ẹjọ́ bàbá sáré mo fẹ́ kí lérè fẹ́ Attorney General of the Federation, irú agbára wo ni ẹ̀yin agbẹjọ́rò ní Nigerian Bar Association ẹni tí ẹni tí ò bá kójú òṣùwọ̀n
Ọládìgbòlù ẹ bá mi mute ẹni yẹn.
Ẹni tí ò bá kójú òṣùwọ̀n tó bá yàn as Attorney General Minister of Justice tí ò ní certificate tó lè mọ pàápàá constitutional lawyer or criminal justice tó yẹ pé bóyá sàríà nìkan náà mọ̀, irú agbára wo lè ní
can you mute yourself, please?
Láti reject ẹni yẹn from becoming the Attorney General, though it's by appointment, but irú agbára wo lè yẹn agbẹjọ́rò ní láti gbé lọ ilé ẹjọ́ kán lè bá fi ẹni tó kójú òṣùwọ̀n síbẹ̀? Ìbéèrè méjì yẹn ẹ ṣé.
Thank you very much. number one, the state houses of assembly are not independent of their governors. The same thing with the judiciary. So what we have done is to insist that the money budgeted for the House of Assembly of each state and the judiciary of each state be transferred to them directly once the budget of the state is approved. And that was what led to the recent strike. That has been the case since 1999. The constitution was further amended in 2017 to allow for independent legislature and independent judiciary. Governors have refused to implement the provision. And that was what led to the recent the strike by judiciary workers and parliamentary workers. Now, people have now, they have now signed an agreement to the fact that this is going to be carried out. So once we can free the legislature from the control of the governors, we can now be talking of some, they will now be freer to legislate on behalf of their people. That's number two. On the position of the Attorney General, again, it is a misnomer to talk of the Attorney General of the Federation. You have the Attorney General of the federal government, because every state has its own Attorney General. This is part of the carryover, from military dictatorship when the entire country was, under a regiment, as it were. Now you have restored democracy. There's no provision for Attorney General of the Federation, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Accountant General of the Federation, Auditor General of the Federation. There is no government of the Federation in Nigeria, because the Federation means the federal government and the state government and local government. That's number one. Number two, every regime decides the type of Attorney General it wants to employ. Now, it's a political decision. If we're operating a parliamentary system, the parliament can pass a vote of no confidence in the Attorney General, even the Premier, the President, and that would mean you have to leave your office. But under the presidency, just like in America or any of the states, you can have the greatest fool as a minister or Attorney General of a country. It is now left for either a professional body or for the public or members, the media, to expose such an Attorney General. And I've told you, what we do is to challenge the Attorney General. For instance, following the illegal ban on Twitter, the Attorney General came out because they didn't know that the federal government does not have the competence to ban Twitter. Because as soon as Twitter was banned, people simply migrated through VPN, to continue to tweet. And so the government was flabbergasted. Oh, and what do? The Attorney General then issued a threat, hereby directing the Director of Public Prosecution to prosecute anybody who defies the ban. And we have to come on, hey man, under what law? Because by virtue of Section 36 of Section 12 of your Constitution, nobody can be punished for an offense that has not been prescribed by law. Which law has asked you, to prosecute anybody? And that was the end of the matter. So the struggle continued to ensure that we run that country, on the footing of rule of law. But we must not give up in ensuring that we expose the shenanigan that is going on in the country. And that's why we have said, you want, in this age and time, somebody is talking of grazing route, when all you need to have are ranches, so that you can quarter the animals. You have schools for the children and the wards of the herders. And so some people will plant grass, some will supply water. So there's also a chain, for the development of the regions, And so this is our position, that we need to bring up, scientific solutions to the problems confronting either Nigeria or our region. But we are not doing that. And that is why these guys are getting away with a lot of, stupid things that they're doing. Thank you.
Alàgbà Túnjí Àtẹ́wọ́lógún, ẹ túra yín sílẹ̀ kẹ́ béèrè béèrè ẹyọ kan. Béèrè kan, ẹ túra yín lẹ̀. Engineer Ọládìgbòlù, wọ́n ti tú yín lẹ̀ o.
Ẹ ṣé,
Emini Adetunji Ataologun. Baba Agbẹjọ́rò sir. 1979, the time of Ali Mongo, if I will use the word of the street.
78.
If I use the word of the street, Ali Mongo. There was a meeting at USC of Ife with Segun Okeowo as the head of Nigerian students at that time.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I saw your picture there. I was there at USC of Ife. I was coming from Ekiti, from Ado Ekiti. There were so many things that were discussed in that meeting. And when we left that meeting, not long, not 5 minutes or 15 or 1 hour, when Okeowo was whisked away by the federal government, Obasanjo in power at that time. At what time does a student, vibrant defender turned from that being defending or defender to a lukewarm when it leaves the university and becomes a worker? Unlike you, I can name the likes, especially Baba Okeowo died. I think he was a teacher in one of the government colleges at that time. Yeah. Many of us referred him a lot because of the way he spoke to us. Now, in situations now, when we have people taking arms, killing people, maiming people, raping women, and we are still saying that there is a law somewhere, at what point is it that there is no anarchy? Because already there is one. Thank you, sir.
Ṣé bí Yorùbá Gbode la wà náà ẹ sọ Yorùbá. Ṣé Fẹ́mi ìwọ ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ òyìnbó Fẹ́mi ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ òyìnbó Fẹ́mi Fálànà ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ òyìnbó.
No, Yorùbá lè mí sọ. Now, the question is almost very interesting. Èmi ò sọ pé kò sí anarchy ń lù wá. I'm only saying there are scientific solutions to anarchy. Nobody would bring cow. I don't under bringing cow to the southwest. If we are prepared to revive branches that we used to have in the southwest. And it's not rocket science. And that's the only solution. Now, and let me also tell you this. Again, if I have your, maybe through this forum, one will make certain information available to you. Lónìí. Àwọn èèyàn táwọn tó fẹ́ ṣe oògùn owó ń pa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ritual murders. Ó burú jáì. About 2 years ago, wọ́n lọ sọ́ṣun shrine kan 48 heads. Orí méjìdínláàádọ́ta àwọn èèyàn wà lórí ń bẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni láwọn tó fẹ́ ṣe oògùn owó. Wọ́n láwọn tó ń gbé àwọn èèyàn wa, wọ́n ń gbé àwọn obìnrin wa. Now, and these are things that we must consider very seriously. For me, Fulanization is a myth. A criminal is a criminal anywhere. Whether you are Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, the most successful kidnapper in Nigeria so far, Ogbenikon, he was not taking money. He was not taking naira. He was collecting pounds, pound sterling, euro and dollars. Fulani Koni. So, can we deploy science and technology to combat banditry and criminality in the Southwest, just like in the whole country? And that is my position. So for me, we are monitoring all the arrests being made. We're ensuring that people are taken to court. And we're challenging our governors lè gbá àwọn boys síta kẹ́ni àwọn àmọ̀tẹ́kùn kan máa wọṣọ pupa láì kọ́ bọ́n gidi fún wọn. What would you can you ask somebody, you know, with Dengon, Shakabula, to go and confront people who have AK-47? Now you must join that struggle to ensure that we run that country properly. At least in the interim, even if you want to break it up. But let me also tell you, let me now be frank with you. This battle to break up a country, it's not a matter for the internet. Let me tell you that. And if you want to break up a country, a revolution, like Chairman Mao said, it's not a dinner party. And so you have to look at your strategies. But all I'm saying for now, all those who kidnap our people, and take Oyo State, for instance, Igongon. Those of you abroad, please, Igongon, which is the latest assault on our people. And I know what I've done personally to say, our people are not protected. And I'll say that of whether Abia or Port Harcourt or whatever. And I'm not going to tell you here, but it's an open forum. Some of the steps we are taking. But you must also harass those who are in power, whether they like it or not, to protect our people. How we are going to get every community in that country defended by our people, our young people. We must now have defense committees in every town and village in the Southwest and be prepared to arm them, because under the law, there is a right to self-defense.
We are already doing that. Don't worry. Better
I can kill you. The law will excuse that. So that is my position. Thank you. So if you are doing that, we're on the same wavelength there.
Okay.
We are on the same wavelength.
Emmanuel, ti wà lójú ọpọ́n ìbéèrè kan ní o torí èrò pọ̀. Àwọn bíi mẹ́tàdínlógún mo mọ̀ pé a lè mú gbogbo wọn bí tá a bá lè mú dé ní but ẹ jẹ́ a ṣe pé bí àwọ̀ bàbá oníṣọ́nà.
Ọ̀dà ẹ ṣe honorable agbẹjọ́rò wa mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ìbéèrè kan tí máa béèrè ní pé ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé there's a conspiracy to pull us down. Mo fẹ́ tàwọn example fún yín ní orí education tẹ́ ń sọ tẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ quota ẹ̀wọ̀n bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo wà ń Dátúrú nígbà tó ń create Yobe State. Story building méjì péré ló wà ń Dátúrú, Igbo ló ní wọn. Petrol station méjì ló wà ń Dátúrú. By all ramification kò ní kankan tán fi lè make a state capital. Àwọn people tí ń yàn wá jẹ láti yọjọ́ adẹ́rì systematically and pretend bẹ́ẹ̀ pé kò sí strategy kankan ní láti dominate Nigeria. So possible kí Fulani má dominate Nigeria forever.
No, thank you very much. I have told you before. About conspiracy theory. We also have the right to fight conspiracy. That's the point I'm making. If for your state, if for Osun State, in the list of JAMB, Abi WAEC, this Southwest Obashedada, in the same system, you have the right to express concern, because that means we are building a future of illiterates.
Yes.
So why should other states do better than a region that was once rated as the most educationally advantaged part of Africa, not just Nigeria? And this is the point I am making. So I tell you this, I'm familiar with the fact that Kano State and Lagos, Kano had 20 local government, Kano had 44. If you go and look at the population of INEC figures, Lagos is said to be higher, slightly. Now, Kano used to have 44 local government. I think I was in detention in 1996 when Jigawa was out of Kano with 27 local government. So the old Kano today has 71 local government, while Lagos still has 20, even though 57. But only 20 funded from Abuja. But I'm telling you, frankly speaking, I told you when I was detained in 1996 in Malamadori local government. I was detained in Mawadashi prison. In the entire Malamadori local government, there was only one functional primary school. Well, not functioning well. From my cell, I wrote a paper. I wanted to assist, and I think the head of the education department just said, now, they are suffering for it today. The level of poverty in the north, please quote me, is the highest in the country and one of the highest in Africa. So what has the rulership of Nigeria, what has it benefited the masses of northern Nigeria? Just like the fact that Obasanjo was president for 8 years, the Lagos-Ibadan road has not been fixed. Even Abeokuta Lagos road was not fixed. So it's not about these people being in power. It is about program for the development of our country, of the continent, and of our region. And this is my position. They were not addressing the question of development. We have resorted to the fact that we have resigned ourselves to faith. Like there will be no development.
There can be.
I'm not saying you cannot divide a country. Why not? You can break up a country. Why not? Even marriages are broken daily. So even the marriage of a country too can be broken. But I'm saying before you get to that level, there are other areas that we must get involved. I'm in Lagos. I am in Lagos. And this has nothing to do with Abuja. My children, I've lived all my life in Lagos. My children cannot take certain appointments in Lagos. And so it is so in all our states. Meanwhile, we are happy. When an Adeyemo becomes a deputy secretary of Treasury in America, we celebrate it at home. When an Obama, a direct, descendant of an immigrant from Kenya, became the president of America, we had parties, we're celebrating. But why is it that in our country, in our region, a man from Ondo State cannot become a permanent secretary in Oyo State and vice versa? So these are things that we must continue now to address, so that even when you are forced to have a republic, there will be, like Chairman Mao said, political, economic revolution, no problem. But the most difficult aspect of a revolution is the cultural aspect. What are we doing? Kí là ń ṣe ń sìn láti jẹ́ ká kọ́ni wá. And that the masses, and that just like the rich are united. The Dangote, the Tinubus, all of them are united. We must also get the masses to be united. And that's my position.
Dr. Oluekundayo, ẹ béèrè ìbéèrè kan. Iná alàgbà Kọ́láwọlé á kó ìbéèrè yín méjèèjì pọ̀. Ó yá, Dr. Oluekundayo, ẹ béèrè ìbéèrè yín. Àǹfààní ìbéèrè kan ni.
Ẹ ṣeun, gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí ẹ sọ la tẹ́tí sí la dẹ̀ gbọ́, àwa kan a tẹ́tí sí dáadáa a dẹ̀ gbọ́. Ìbéèrè ni wípé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí ẹ sọ pé a lè ṣe sí yìí tá ti ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. A ti rí àpẹẹrẹ ẹ̀ láti 1950 títí dé 1960. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ti dojú bolẹ̀ ń sìn.
Ẹ lọ sí ìbéèrè tààrà ẹ dákun.
Kí ni báwo ni ò ṣe tún wá ní dojú bolẹ̀ kó jẹ́ pé wọ́n á tún dojú ẹ̀ bolẹ̀ bó ṣe ti dojú ẹ̀ bolẹ̀ tipẹ́ ká tún wá padà síbi tá a ti ń bọ̀ yìí. Tàbá pínyà gbogbo àṣà tiwa la máa fi bá àwọn nǹkan tiwa wí. Ṣùgbọ́n báwo ni ò ṣe tún wá ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀?
Ṣé tá a bá pínyà àbí tá a bá pínyà?
Tá a bá pínyà. Báwo ni ò ṣe tún ní gbogbo nǹkan tó ti tún ṣe táwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ pẹ̀lú gbogbo ọgbọ́n tó ń ní àti gbogbo ẹ̀ tó ń ṣe? Báwo tí wọ́n ti ṣe tó ń dẹ̀ ṣe tarí gbogbo ẹ̀ 25 stories gbogbo ẹ̀ tarí gbogbo ẹ̀ pátápátá ló ti rún sìn? Báwo ni ò ṣe tún ní ṣẹlẹ̀?
Ẹ ṣeun ẹ̀ ń wò dáhùn ẹ̀. Alàgbà Kọ́láwọlé Súlè, ẹ béèrè ìbéèrè yín ká tó gbogbo ẹ̀ pọ̀ mọ́ra wọn. Ẹ rìn lẹ́ o.
Kò wálé ni.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí alàgbà Kọ́láwọlé Súlè, mo ti pè yín ṣùgbọ́n mò ń gbìyànjú láti rí wípé àlejò wa pàtàkì sì wà níbí torí mo gbọ́ wọn mi wà mọ̀ bóyá.
Ó lè jẹ́ Nigerian night ló ti cut.
Irọ́ wọn wà níbí. Wọ́n wà níbí dáadáa.
Ok.
Alàgbà Kọ́láwọlé Súlè, ṣé ẹ béèrè àbí kí n lọ pẹ́ lómìn?
No, mo fẹ́ dáhùn but mo ti ọ̀mí.
Ẹ̀rìnlẹ̀ ó yẹ béèrè.
Ẹ kú wájú sá.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí
ó yẹ béèrè.
Jẹ́ kí
wọ́n fẹ́ mú pọ̀ ni.
Ẹ jọ bàbá wa San, question mi ó dá lórí pé gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ sọ yẹn ni but how can we achieve this thing? Pé àwọn gómìnà wa tí wọ́n ní àṣà àti certain things because power comes from their power. And most of them are fidgeting about saying, if I do this or if I do that, maybe they won't get that position. So I can see from your point of view, but don't you think if we're able to exceed, we're not saying Nigeria should not go. Those who want to go, let them be Nigerians. But give us Nigeria, I mean, Yoruba nation, so that we will know how to, I'm about to say, dear Rua. But why don't you can you answer that question, please? And what can you do to make sure that we can exit from the fraudulent from the fraudulent marriage?
Ẹ jẹ́ kí Mr. Falana mute. Sọ fún wọn kán mute ara wọn.
Mute ara yín sà. Engineer Bisola Dìgbòlùwẹ̀ tí wọ́n lẹ̀.
I've tried. Unmute me. I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me?
I hope you got my question.
Yes.
Now, for me, I think the questions overlap. How do we prevent total destruction? Destroyed already in the years of the military. Unfortunately, after 22 years, I don't know if I can restore but don't compare our governors to ask for the interest of our people. It's to mount pressure on them. I put on information. I can tell you this. I just got information a couple of days ago. Recently, àwọn gómìnà lókè ọya owó tó ń ti gbà láti fi túlù tí wọ́n ṣe kò ń ṣe budget là ń sọ yìí o kò ń ṣe èyí tó ń pín ní federation account o láwọn owó tí central bank ń gbé ta ó lè tó jẹun àwọn tó wà ń sàlẹ̀ wọn gba 10% tiẹ̀ kí ló fa eléyìí àwọn èèyàn wa ò béèrè ẹ̀tọ́ àwọn èèyàn wa o ìjọba tún fẹ́ ṣe ranches sìn wọ́n pè ní grazing reserve whatever they call it they have just approved 21 states 19 states in the north 2 in the south à ń pariwo fún àwọn èèyàn wa Ọ̀yọ́ àti Ògùn à ń pariwo fún àwọn èèyàn wa nígbà àwọn àbí bá fẹ́ gbowó ta 100 billion wọ́n fẹ́ vote fún kínní yìí o build your own ranches in your region so that nobody brings any cow to the region under the pretext of bringing cow from Apawanyanwa. Unfortunately, the largest abattoir in Africa, Ibadan ló wà lọ́nà Ọ̀yọ́, built by a private person, PPP. Àwọn gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Ọ̀yọ́ ò jẹ́ kó gbórí since 2011 under the late Ajuma. I tell you to amends. For one reason or the other, meanwhile, your state has about 30% interest there. Those are things. Why are you guys frustrating development in that region? I've told you about our own. If you have Net Lonely as a telecommunication company, nobody in Jababu Yalo to find a license, NCC. But why is it not working? You can have no less than 50,000 young people working in that place, but we're not doing that. Now, Why would they not allow us to exit? Very interesting question. A little difficult. Because for those who are benefiting from the distorted federal arrangement, which I call a unitary system, they are not going to allow you to go. The slave master will not knowingly free the slave. If you read the history of America, there were slave revolts, one sugarcane farms and the rest of them. So without your readiness, there's nobody, nobody will say, oh, come and take away Nigeria. They are saying, why do you develop a code? Therefore, the same port. We have allowed you to develop the port. We have developed the Nigerian the airport in Lagos. We have developed this. So it is for those who have convinced themselves that they want to break up a country that would determine when and how it's going to be done. So if you are talking of southern people, somebody is asking me, southern people are being oppressed. Northern people, the masses of the north, are being oppressed more. And the facts and figures are there. And for those of us who are, sir? So if you want to have Yoruba nation, be ready to go to the battle against those who insist in the status quo. And that is only logical. They will not allow you, Kajoko round table conference. They will never allow, because they are benefiting maximally from the distortion that is going on. And I'm not talking of Fulani people alone. I'm talking of the members of the ruling class in Yoruba land, in the southeast and the rest of them. They are united in maintaining the status quo. That is why you will never have any of the political leaders saying that they want to opt out of Nigeria. No. They are benefiting maximally from Nigeria. And so, Nigeria, let me decide in controversy.
Another wet here is coming.
Well, I wouldn't support wet here, but I'm just saying.
You don't have to support it. Money is coming. I didn't support the person.
And that's why you must be armed with information. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Alàgbà Ṣómóyè, ẹ bèrè ìbéèrè yín lẹ́yìn náà máa pe bàbá Adébóyè àti Alàgbà Charlie. Alàgbà Amòfin Ṣómóyè, ẹ bèrè ìbéèrè yín. Ìbéèrè kan ni o.
Ẹ ṣé, madam. Ẹ ṣé, Attorney Falana, for joining us. My question is on really the constitutionality of the government. Mo ń wonder pé ṣé kò ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ kí a focus lórí nìyẹn, because the last legal constitution ta ní, that's the reality, 1963 ni. Gbogbo other problems stand list yìí ó emanate from the current constitution. And as long as this current constitution is regarded as the law of the land, I will achieve much under this constitution. Why don't we focus on the root cause, which is the constitutionality of the law? The last legal, military rule is illegal. So what are the efforts of the legal community in Nigeria to make sure that this constitution is invalidated? It's an illegal document. So why are we keep referring to it as the constitution? Some people are talking about restructuring. If we restructure an illegal document, we are giving it validity. The last government, the last constitution is 1963. So why don't we focus on invalidating anything else after that? We all know military rule is illegal. Very quickly, General Bisala was executed into the coup. There are many people that were executed into the coup. Buhari she coup against the constitutional government. Bisala she coup against the military government, but he was executed. So why are we still referring to law, to military rule, basically as law? The other developed nations, they will have invalidated it the second day. The government
Okay, I just calm down.
Well, I've told you, Abdulsalami Abubakar jà pé I need the Sovereign National Conference láti kọ new constitution for Nigeria. ó sọ fún wa pé oṣù mọ́kànlá péré lòun ní láti ṣe transition program and then hand over káwọn máa sá lọ ní tiwọn. Nígbà táwa bá lọ tán, ìjọba tó bá ń bọ̀ ká jẹ́ kan for constitution for Nigeria. So for some of us, the Constitution Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999, signed by Abubakar, ought to have been an interim document. But when Obasanjo came on board, he decided to retain the Constitution because he enjoyed the powers, the concentration of powers in Abuja. And that has been the case since 1999. So I agree with you. The 1999 Constitution is a legal document, but not a legitimate document. And I've also done my studies to the fact that the 1963 Constitution, which was suspended by the military, was never really repealed. I've looked at all the decrees. I think carelessly, it was never repealed. So if you're asking for the restoration of the 1963 Constitution, again, it's a battle. It's a legal battle. Because those who are in power now, who are empowered to write the Constitution or to amend the Constitution, are saying, no, we're not going to dump the 1999 Constitution. We only want to panabit it. We only want to amend it, alter certain provisions. And this is the 5th time. They've amended 4 times. This is the 5th time. But because some of us have not been, we have never taken interest in the affairs of Nigeria until recently. Between 1999 and now, more powers have been concentrated in Abuja through constitutional arrangement. Only a few of us were challenging, for instance, in 2003, the Obasanjo regime set up the civil defense, which is a full-fledged police force. And we said, how dare you? Section 214 of your constitution says there shall be only a Nigerian police force and there shall be no other police force. If you have set up this defense and security corps, you must allow states to have state police. That was 2003. Nobody listened to us. In 2010, they amended the constitution to take all labor matters from state high courts to, what do you call it now? National Industrial Court. So if you sack a worker in Sokoto or Shaki or anywhere, you have to be looking for a federal court, National Industrial Court. So the point I'm making therefore is that more powers, concentrate more powers. And because we didn't shout on them, we didn't tell them you can't do this. And they have done it. They are likely to take more powers and put more powers in Abuja. Our 5th attempt to rewrite the constitution between 1999 and now. So we need to know where the struggle is. We need to know where errors were made in the past, and we need to strategize and then organize ourselves. They are not going to say, oh, we are going back to 1963 Constitution. They even said those who are talking about 63 Constitution are dreamers. So that's where we are.
This is why we have to leave.
This is why you have to live well before you leave. This is what I'm saying. Before you leave, you must organize your own region. That's all.
Bàbá Adédìran mo rí pé ọwọ́ yìí tún wà lókè mi ìmọ̀ bóyá ti tẹ́lẹ̀.
Bàbá Adédìran
gbogbo ayé ní gbọ́ yìí.
Ok, ẹ kú àtàárọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ìjókòó. Agbẹjọ́rò wa ẹ kú iṣẹ́ o. Ìbéèrè tí mo fẹ́ béèrè ó nìyí. Ìgbà tẹ́ sọ pé ó yẹ kí àwa tá a wà nídàálẹ̀ ká ṣe ìkìlọ̀ fáwọn gómìnà wa. Ojú òtóòrùn ni Nàìjíríà jẹ́ fáwa tá a wà nídàálẹ̀. Nǹkan tí apá àwọn tó wà ní ò bá ká, báwo lápá àtàwa tá a wà níta ṣe lè ká? kí ni nǹkan tí èèyàn lè ṣe tí gómìnà ó fi gbọ́rọ̀ sí yàn lẹ́nu ìyẹn ní. Number 2, Constitution 1963 gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ was never abrogated, was suspended by Agbiron. So àwọn agbẹjọ́rò bíi tí báyìí lè jókòó kan sọ pé constitution tó wà ń bẹ̀ ní ìsinyìí òun kọ́ ní constitution Nàìjíríà a lè sọ yẹn dìjà but kí ni nǹkan tápá wá ká bá a sọ pé wọ́n ní bọ́wọ́ ẹni ọ̀bà tí ìṣe kúdà àìbẹ̀rẹ̀ kókó para bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kí ni agbára tí àwọn èèyàn wá ní láti sọ fún gómìnà pé n tó ṣe ọ̀dà tó bá dẹ̀ yé ṣe kẹ́ tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣe nìyí.
Ẹ ṣe pọ̀ sàn olótù. Fún ìbéèrè pàtàkì yìí àwọn gómìnà wọn wá sílùú ọba wọn wá sọ́dọ̀ yín l'Amẹ́ríkà wọn wá sí Canada wọn wá sí London. No, ẹ find out baba you can find out and you can pick it you can challenge them. Àjẹkẹ mọ bàbá jókòó pọ̀ Buhari lọ London lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí láti lọ gbàtọ́jú. Àwọn èèyàn wa lọ́hùn ajẹ́kọ́mọ̀ ń bọ̀ dẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ òun náà mọ̀ pé kò easy láti jókòó lẹ̀ fún tọ́jú. They had to rush back home. A lè ṣe é fáwọn gómìnà wa ẹ̀ǹjẹ̀ wa ń tà. Number 2, some of them also acquire assets níta. You can do your investigation and locate them.
Gbogbo ẹ̀ la mọ̀ kí ló fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀.
No, please get a team of lawyers together and you can challenge them for what ìlú rèé. Other people are doing it. We can work together in this area, please. We are involved. And ṣe fáwọn ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan. Now, on what you can do about the constitution, I have told you. Ngbà kan, our military, December last year, no, October, when with effect from December 1, the military will force everybody to produce their ID card, voters card, a means of identification. And they were going to get away with it. I went to court. How dare you? Are we in South African apartheid, where blacks had to carry pass? No. And I went to court. I got an injunction against them. I eventually won the case. Second one, owó ìlú wa ní gbogbo àwọn foreigners tó wà ní Nigeria, expatriates, they pay $2,000 every year to renew their SEPA card. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ jókòó l'Abuja. Owó yìí, ngbọ̀n bá gbà tán, should go to federation account. It's about 40 billion naira a year. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ jókòó. Wọ́n gẹ̀tẹ̀ ẹnìkan tí ò tẹ̀ ń ṣe Nigerian. Ó yá, a fún ẹ ní contract. Ngbò bá wa gbowó ìtàn lọ́wọ́ àwọn expatriates. The federal government will take 30%. Ministry of Interior will take 7%. Immigration Department will take 5%. Then you, contractor, will move 58%. Our agencies of the government will move 42%. Can this happen in an independent country in Africa? When they kọ̀wé sí ìjọba àpapọ̀ ẹ lè ṣe léyìí o. Mo sọ fún àwọn gómìnà wa owó tó yẹ kó lọ federation account nílé wọn dá mi lóhùn. Mo lọ lé ẹjọ́. Again, I can make it available to you. I won the case and the court said, go and put the money in the federation account. Láti develop gbogbo ìlú kan máa pín. Now what has happened? Ìjọba àpapọ̀ file appeal. And I again went to the governor. Ẹ wá, owó yín rèé. You must also come and show interest. Nobody has shown any interest. The point I'm making therefore, if we are united and we are strategic, there are struggles we can wage and win. But if we have already given up, for instance, last year, the Governor Akeredolu this year gave a deadline for all headers and farmers to register in Ondo State within 1 week. Oh, ìjọba àpapọ̀ sọ pé no, you can't do it. That's illegal. What is illegality? Under Section 42 of the Forestry Law of Ondo State, The penalty for going to government reserve without authorization is 5 years imprisonment, no option of fine. So, much later, the federal government came up with, sorry, all the forests reserved in Nigeria belong to state government. It is their business to control them. So, if we keep up the struggle, before you get to the level you are now, or before you break it up, we cannot fold our arms and we cannot behave like Pontius Pilate for now. That is my position. I think that's where we disagree. While I continue to represent the masses, wherever in Africa, you have already made up your mind, you are breaking it. But I'm saying, before you eventually go from Nigeria, let us continue to challenge misgovernance, misrule, and corrupt practices.
We have no problem with that. We have no problem with that.
Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Charlie, unmute ara yín kẹ́ béèrè ìbéèrè kan pépèpé láì ṣe báyìí bí awọ bàbá oníṣọ̀nà.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ alàgbà Fálànà. A ti ní Dr. Olú Ayọ̀ọ́lá ní Ìbàdàn that has a robotic company that has the capability of drone. You know, wọ́n ní pé nǹkan tá à ń wá lọ sí Sokoto ó wà lápò Sokoto. Please, we are pleading with you. Energize this governor. We know that they.
Ẹ ti mute ara yín o. Gbọ́ yín mọ́ o.
Unmute yourself.
Okay. Ṣé ẹ ń gbọ́ mi sẹ́yìn?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, thank you, sir. So it is because our governors and people in power have not fallen victim of this menace. That is why they are still trying to maintain the status quo. My family had to pay 7 million to get one of us out of this situation. So, Tabani solution ní Ìbàdàn, can you help us connect with this guy? I will send you his contact so that you can energize this southern governance. Tí gbogbo wa bá jọ deploy drone lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà, all the cattle in our forest will be brought to light, and then people can take them back to the north. So this is my plea with you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I can tell you right away, if I have the contact today, I will contact him right away, and then I will do the needful, you know. Thank you very much. About payment of ransom, I've said publicly that people pay ransom have a duty to collect the money, to ask for a refund from the government. Because the duty of the government to protect people. If they're negligent, if the government are negligent in protecting people, I will collect it from the government. And I've said it publicly. People have not shown interest.
The kidnappers won't give you receipts, so how will you?
No, you don't need a receipt. If the government will not do anything, we must force them to be responsible. You don't need a receipt. I mean, for instance, I can tell you this, sir. There was a riot in 2011. A young man from my hometown was killed. He had just completed his doctorate degree in geophysics. He was burnt in his house. The wife came to me to complain, crying. I said, Madam, she has 3 kids. Who is going to take care of them? Of course, I went to court. And I won the case for her. But I will collect the money. So, if the government, and what is the excuse of the government? Oh, rioters, no power. Thought it's okay. Well, your failure to prevent rioters from killing, you have to be responsible. In the case of Igongo, I'm the lawyer to Femi Aborishade, my comrade, who is from that area. We are in court in Ibadan to compare the state government and the federal government to protect the people of Igongo. Now they have just, after the last attack, we have to call the Attorney General for Gila and Sheikh, even though we're in court. It's now they are just moving, you know, going to station what do you call it, mobile and the rest of them there. You know, so we must protect our people, and that is my position. Wherever they are attacked, whether in the north or in the south, east or west, we must not allow irresponsible governments to just ride short over our people, and that's my position. Thank you.
Alàgbà Ọládìpẹ̀kun ìbéèrè kan níṣẹ́jú kan ẹ ti wà lórí afọ́nrán.
Ẹ ṣé gan ma, mo kí o bolé. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni San Falana, mo kí yín. Inú mi dùn wípé ẹ sọ wípé àwọn èèyàn ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti Ọlọ́run láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tó dá wa tẹ́ ń pè ní inalienable rights. Jiyàn wípé wọ́n ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti fún self-determination. Ṣùgbọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ náà torí amòfin lẹ́yìn iṣẹ́ amòfin lèmi náà ń ṣe bọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ìlú Amẹ́ríkà lèmi wà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ṣùgbọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ sà ẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé ká kọ́ tú àwọn nǹkan ṣe ní South West. Jiyàn pé ìlú ní oríṣiríṣi ìṣòro ṣùgbọ́n there is a system in place.
Kí ni ìbéèrè ni àgbà?
Ìbéèrè mi báwo tí mo sọ̀rọ̀ máa ẹjọ́ fún mi ní ìṣẹ́jú kan má bínú ẹjọ́. There is an agenda for colonization, and I want to challenge you on that point, sir, with some facts. Twice, àwọn Fúlàní ti wá sílẹ̀ Yorùbá, twice in the 1800s, láti wá establish a caliphate ní Yorùbá. Àwọn ará Ọ̀yọ́ ló gbà wọlé lọ́wọ́ wọn gbàtàn dé Òṣogbo. Òṣogbo wọn ìgbọ́dọ̀ wá ṣe ní Sókótó, wọn lọ́ fẹ́ wá ṣe ní Yorùbá ní Sókótó caliphate. Tí ó bá ti pa àwọn ará Ọ̀yọ́ gbà wọlé tí wọ́n náà padà, àbá máa sọ Lárúbáwá, àbá máa gbé fìlà, àbá máa ní sẹ́díkà kiri ilẹ̀ Yorùbá sí àti àwọn emir. Kí ló dé tó yẹ pé àwọn tó ń pa àwọn dáadáa tó ń pa wá wọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pààyàn àfìgbà tí Fúlàní dé bẹ̀ tí Buhari dé bẹ̀ ní 2015 tó mọ̀ pa àwọn ní agbára central lọ́wọ́ and the federal police náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣèkọ́ tó ń ṣe. The assembly is in the hands of the Fulani or the northerners. According to the International Center for Investigative Reporting, 12 out of the 16 key security agencies are in the hands of the Fulani or the northern co-conspirators. Every time that something happens, the Fulani look the other way. And one vigilante, what one arrest one arrest vigilante, one two and Fulani sílẹ̀.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n fèsì sí àlàyé ó pọ̀ dáadáa ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n fèsì sí.
So in light of all these facts, sir, the agendas is Madam Fodio, the words of Amadou Bello, the federal government and the powers of the security agencies in the hands of the Fulani.
And so on. So
how can you deny that there is an agenda to colonize Nigeria? They are attempting to conquer Nigeria by using the federal government as a lever.
Okay, Shehu. One face it.
Thank you very much. Whatever you call Fulanization, for me, can be fought. And if people are organized, you can fight and defeat any agenda for the oppression of our people. And when I talk of our people, I'm not talking of the Yoruba people alone. I'm telling you, the crisis of banditry in Zamfara, Sokoto and others is a clash between the Fulani and the Hausa, the indigenous Hausa people. And that's the point I'm making. Yes, there was resistance, but also up to 1886, before Yoruba land was conquered, inside Yoruba land, the Ekiti Union, that's the Ekiti people up to Akure, up to Ijesha, were fighting the oppression of the Oyos. That's the Ibadan,
of the Ibadans.
So until, that war, after 16 years, people freed themselves. It was 2 years later that the colonial people overpower our people, not that we submitted, contrary to what people say. Anglo, Yoruba wars were fought. Of course, 1861, they are taking over Lagos. Now, so the point I'm making is that before colonialism, before 2014, you didn't have the Yoruba Republic or Oduduwa Republic. But you are saying the situation in Nigeria now calls for it. And I'm saying that the Fulani people you are talking about, the Yoruba political elite, the Igbo political elite, and the South political elite are united in sustaining and maintaining the current status quo. which is against the masses of our people. Just like your campaign. Nobody is talking of employment for our people. Nobody is talking of how we can combat poverty. Nobody is challenging IMF and World Bank in Washington. What is your interest in Nigeria? Why are you saying that they must remove social subsidy? When in your country, when in America, you are giving trillions of dollars, even with your capitalism, you are giving trillions of dollars to the vulnerable people. These are the questions I want you to ask IMF and World Bank. You are here, you can demonstrate in Washington, nobody is going to shoot you. Now, so that once you are doing that, then everybody will feel the impact. But about Yoko, hey, I'm Fulani. Kila Fulani, imperialism, like IMF and World Bank. Tony, come on, no for education more. Come on, no for health more. Come on, show no more. You know, so thank you. Now, the last one. Nobody can support. I still granted an interview today. Báwọn Buhari fúnra wọn ló ń force àwọn èèyàn láti sọ pé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ tí wọ́n. And why? Through your nepotistic attitude, through your lopsided appointments, and through the control of security forces. I still said this today. So I'm not unaware of campaign in Peloba Consing that I'm first class of back. Me, he has just given me a list of I want to arrest two our boys one and vigilante. Don't cover our lot pattern shame. I want to Bola Tenua. And I hope to be in Abuja next week. And I'm going to the office of the IG. I'm a court to compel, because the law allows it. We file a mandamus application to compel you to protect our people. We already have a case in court, but our lady who have been arrested and handed over, we want to have the police report. So, and this is the point I am making. But about combat the war. Timbawa Binsin, Masofu and Lolola, Awata Wanle, Atisheton, Lati break up Nigeria. I will be deceiving you. Me, good autonomy, was I gender and low. Tobacco Nipa on young people one word day, but I am saying, even in your campaign, you can have a legal defense unit. America 10 Soloni. I want NAC, Emma. I want to set up organization for the advancement of black people. When you talk of brown and education, the Supreme Court judgment don't support there should be no segregation. And when you look organization, where you are, you can set up a legal defense team. And what they can't you can contact lawyers in Nigeria. People are safe. I can tell you, Independence Day. I want to share June 12. To get them out. Today I can tell you everybody is out. I want to go to court, only 2 of them they have been granted bail. So the point I'm making therefore, more than you can, more than you are doing now. And that is my position. And at the end of the day, you will have strengthened the masses of our people to have their courage to demand proper governance from those who are in power. And even if they now break up Nigeria, it will not be the continuity of oppression and exploitation by the ruling class, who are members of the ruling class that are currently dominating and oppressing the people of Nigeria. That's my position. Sure.
Alàgbà Chris Akíngbadé ìbéèrè kan níṣẹ́jú kan ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Alàgbà Chris Akíngbadé ẹ túra yín lẹ̀.
Ẹ ṣeun mà. Alàgbà Fẹ́mi Fálànà ẹ ṣé gan ni láti gbọ́ yín. Inú mi dùn. Question tèmi ní ó kàn gbọmọpọ̀n díẹ̀ nìkan ni ṣùgbọ́n gbọmọpọ̀n. Ohun tí mo kọ́ fẹ́ béèrè ni pé mi ní béèrè nípa Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́ yín. Mo fẹ́ béèrè nípa Yorùbá torí Yorùbá ní ṣé committee kankan wà ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ń provide the central leadership. Tó bá jẹ́ yes ni, tó bá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, ṣé ẹ̀yin wà ní committee yẹn, kí ni role yín nínú committee yẹn? Then tí committee yẹn bá wà tẹ́yin náà dẹ̀ wà ńbẹ̀. Ẹ ti béèrè question kan pé why our elders frustrating development in Yoruba land? Mo fẹ́ kí ẹ bá mi dáhùn sá. Kí ni ó dé tí àwọn àgbààgbà wa, including you, if you're a member of that committee, frustrating our efforts in that land? Kì í ṣe pé mo fi insult yín o, mo kàn wo.
No. Thank you very much. Èmi ò sí ní ẹgbẹ́ Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan tó frustrate the agenda for development of our people. I'm in touch with the political leaders in the region, particularly those who are outside PDP and APC. I'm in touch with Professor Akintoye. I'm in touch with Baba Adebanjo. Professor Akintoye believes, like many of you, we should break it up. Baba Adebanjo and co believe in restructuring. I'm in touch with them. But I also lead an organization in Nigeria, which is a pan-Nigerian organization, Alliance on Surviving COVID-19 and Beyond. And we are made up of trade unions, civil society organizations, human rights bodies, and the rest of them. And we are defending the interests of our people all over the country, and that's where we are. But for those who are also leading the Yoruba people, I challenge our governors. I mean, some of them, in fairness to them, some of them, mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ contract, mo fẹ́ sọ fún wọn pọ̀ òṣèlú dáadáa, wọ́n máa ń gbé kọ́, pọ̀ tí ẹ̀ gbé bóyá wọ́n àmì tí wọ́n á pè padà. Wow. Irú tí one of our leaders just mentioned now, nípa ti robotic company ń bàdàn. Tí n bá ti ní details eléyìí, I'm going to do a memo to all of them. And tí n bá dẹ̀ mọ̀ ń jọba, màá pè wọ́n. Tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ṣe eléyìí o, I will now believe that you are joining those who are killing our people. Because like you are saying, I can sit down where I am now. You put on kí mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lÉkòó, kí mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ níbi tẹ́ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà. I mean, look at it now. We can communicate with ourselves because of science. I just had an incident in my office 2 weeks ago. There was an attempted burglary at the Pàwọn ọlọ́pàá. Mo ń lọ wájú, wọ́n lọ sẹ́yìn kìíní kan, mo suspect ẹnìkan, wọ́n ní phone boy náà, wọ́n pè. Kò wá jẹ́jọ́ lọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́pàá, mo dẹ̀ ní no problem. Lè track torí àmọ́ ibi tó ń gbé, ó ti kúrò nílé tó filẹ̀ lọ́fíìsì. Lè track ẹ̀ ni. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá ó máa cost owó kìíní kan kìíní. Nígbà tó ń ṣì ń ṣòṣì wọn, I went to a private company and I've got the address. I've given them now, just this evening. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ lé bọ́ yẹn lọ́la, so that the investigation can continue. And for me, that is the way to go. But what our people are doing, we're still practicing 18th century, policing system, whether in the West, East, or North. And I'm saying where you are. Ẹ̀yin lè bá wa introduce àwọn gadgets táwọn ìjọba wa to get them to modernize governance in our region and in the country. Thank you.
Alàgbà Abíọ́dún Ọlọ́mọlá, ẹ béèrè ìbéèrè kan ní ìṣẹ́jú kan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Falana. Now, someone has, I think the last two speakers has touched on the areas of the question from all you have said, you have proven to us from all the fight that you have been doing that the 1999 Constitution is problematic and it is the main problem of Nigeria. Now, I want to ask you, have you heard about the constitutional force majeure that is going on, which had been projected as the way out of this logjam of the Nigerian constitutional crisis? And do you think it's a way of solving the problem? Are you aware of it? And do you think, and what do you think of it? Do you think if it is implemented, will it resolve all these crises and problems that Nigeria is facing? That's my question.
Thank you. Well, the questions are, some of them are really overlap. I have never said that the 1999 Constitution is the main problem. It's not a problem for me. What I've said is that it can be smashed. People can take advantage of the loophole to subvert the current system of injustice in the country. And I have told you that not less than 15 to 20 cases have been filed.
Excuse me. My question is, I want to speak about the constitutional force majeure. Do you think...
You said, Mr. Falana, just a minute, sir. You said I believe 99 constitution is a problem. I said that's not my problem. I am saying 99 constitution can be smashed if we are organized. That's my position. On constitutional force majeure, again, there are lawyers there. You don't talk of a force majeure, which is like Deus ex machina, act of God beyond your power. That's what force majeure means. Oh, this constitution, what is constitutional force majeure? I'm telling you that the ruling class in Nigeria, does not believe in altering the status quo. So your constitutional force majeure can only be meaningful if you are prepared to mobilize the masses of our people to reject the status quo, the 1999 Constitution. And that's why people have opted for 1963 Constitution, being a cheaper way of running a government and being a more accountable way of, getting government to respond to the yearnings and aspirations of our people. I do not believe in constitutional force majeure because it's a myth. It's a myth. People, yes, it's good people have thought about this, but I have just told you there are people who are saying we must go back to 1963 Constitution because that is the only constitution that the Nigerian people in 1963 decided to make a meaningful impact. 60 Constitution was likely influenced by the British, but by 1963, Nigerians decided we want to do away with the British monarch, who was our titular head of state. We now must have a Nigerian president. We don't want to be going to Privy Council in London. We now want the Supreme Court of Nigeria to be the last court in Nigeria. And so, but by 1966, the military suspended the 1963 Constitution. And as the Yorubas to say, so let's go back to where we started all the problem. And that is a more logical argument than simply talking of force majeure and the rest of them. That's my position, sir.
Ẹ ṣeun alàgbà ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Oyèwọlé Adéyẹmọ ẹ láǹfààní ìbéèrè kan níṣẹ́jú kan ẹ dákun torí Ọlọ́run ẹ dé àrìnlẹ̀ ẹ ṣe.
Ẹ ṣe o inú mọ́tò ni mo wà inú mi dẹ̀ dùn pé mo bá Mr. Falana sọ̀rọ̀ mo gba nọ́mbà yín bọ̀ nọ́mbà tán fún mi yẹn mo ti pé kò lọ bọ̀ mo ti wá gbà lẹ́yìn bá.
Òun náà la fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ prof.
All right, ẹ ṣe gan ni. Gbogbo nǹkan tí ẹ ń sọ látẹ̀ẹ̀kan pé wàhálà wà lórí constitution àtúnṣe ó mì pé kí níyàn ọ̀dà kakúkú sọ́ọ́lẹ̀ káwọn tún kọ lè máa tún ó ti wọ́ láti táàrọ̀ bá wà tó gbẹ̀rù ta lórí ẹ̀wọ́ ẹsẹ̀ ni ọ̀dà gbé ẹsẹ̀ yẹn lọ sí hospital gan-an la máa gbé lọ hospital tá máa tú ẹsẹ̀ yẹn tó so kò pàkànlá pátá bá ń sọpá tún constitution ṣe kò lè work. Then my question tí mo fẹ́ kì í tiẹ̀ ṣe question gan mo fẹ́ fún yín ní àwọn points kan ní but mo sì máa pè yín tá máa sọ̀rọ̀ dáadáa.
Ẹ pè wọ́n ẹ jẹ́ ká ẹ tí ò bá ti sí béèrè.
Fún àǹfààní àwọn tó wà lọ.
Bàbá Oyèwọlé máa fi ṣètò bá jẹ́ pé.
Bá ti sọ tán báyìí gan lẹ̀ ń waste time.
Ṣe mọ̀ pé ètò nìyẹn gan tó ọmọ òfin tá a bá ṣe fún onílé ló yẹ kó wà fún àlejò. Ṣé àwọn yòókù fẹ́ béèrè ìbéèrè?
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n béèrè ìbéèrè ọ̀hún sẹ́ẹ̀. Ìbéèrè mi ni pé àwọn tó ń béèrè fún self determination dípò kẹta kò wọ́n ǹjẹ́ lè kúkú má sọ̀rọ̀ against ẹ̀ kẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ yín máa ṣiṣẹ́ yín lọ àdẹ̀mọ̀ pé bí constitution ṣe rí sìn.
Ẹ ṣe wọ́n ti gbọ́ ìbéèrè yín òyà wọ́n ní jẹ́ ó ṣeé ṣe kí ẹ kàn máa kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ sọ nǹkan kan pa ẹ̀ àwọn tó ń béèrè mi ò rí wọn mọ́ alàgbà Falana ó dáa mo rò pé kinní yẹn ti já. Alàgbà Fálànà kódà mi ò rí wọn. Mo rò pé line wọn cut àti pẹ́ náà wákàtí kan àbọ̀ di tó a máa dúró fún bí ìṣẹ́jú méjì láti wò bóyá a lè ní àǹfààní kí wọ́n tún wọlé padà.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mà. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mà. Hello mà.
Ta ló ń sọ̀rọ̀?
Charlie Oríbámiṣẹ́ ni mà. Yeah, ọ̀gbẹ́ni Fálànà wọ́n fún wa ní challenge kan pé àwa tá wà ń bí báyìí ló yẹ ká get us wa together, bóyá ká constitute the committee like a political action committee, so that if and when situation goes out of bound in Nigeria, we can engage these lawyers, all these people to rescue and engage in legal pursuit of whatever we want them to do.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n fún yín ní màá tẹ nọ́mbà alàgbà kan tí wọ́n ń kó àwọn èèyàn jọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Gbòde òun ṣe oníròyìn làwa àwọn ò mọ̀ jù yẹn lọ, ṣùgbọ́n màá fi nọ́mbà bàbá Bánjí Ayílóge màá fi nọ́mbà wọn sí orí afọ́nrán kí ẹ pè wọ́n. Wọ́n ń ṣe àkójọ àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n lè wá ojú ọ̀nà bí nǹkan ó ṣe dáa nílẹ̀ wa. Nọ́mbà wọn ni màá fi sórí nọ́mbà bàbá Ayílóge ó ní mo fi 7324067828 ó wà fún gbogbo wa. Ṣé ẹ ti rí ẹ kọ sílẹ̀?
Ẹ tí fi sórí
mo ti fi sí ṣùgbọ́n màá rí i pé ó wà fún gbogbo àwọn èèyàn.
Okay, now ó ṣe appear.
So ẹ ṣeun. Bàbá Bánjí Ayílóge wọ́n wà lára ìgbìmọ̀ amòye Yorùbá Gbòde.
Ayílóge. Ẹ ṣé mà.
Ẹ ṣé. So ẹ jẹ́ kí n wò bóyá mo lè pè wọ́n lórí aago, bóyá wọn ò lè wọlé mọ́ fún ìdí kan tàbí ìdí mi. Huh?
Oh, 6, 7, 2.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n béèrè bóyá
okay, wọ́n ti wọlé padà.
Okay. Bàbá Adéyẹmọ.
Okay.
Alàgbà Fẹ́mi Fálànà ti wà níbí padà. Ọjọ́ sì ti lọ. Mo rò pé ẹ ti béèrè ìbéèrè yín.
Okay, ṣé wọ́n gbọ́ mi báyìí?
Mo rò pé ẹ tún lè alàgbà Fálànà.
Yes ma.
Okay.
Ẹjọ́ kí ni ìbéèrè wọn?
Ìbéèrè mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan jẹ́ kí n sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Ẹ sọ ní kíákíá ìbéèrè yín ló já aago lẹ́ẹ̀kan bàbá. Ẹ má jò tún já aago ní ìṣòro.
Ìbéèrè kan ló já aago. Jẹ́ ká sọ òótọ́. Nǹkan tó happen, nǹkan táwa ń gbọ́ lórí mídíà ni pé ẹ̀ ń tako àwọn tó ń jà ìjà ìgbára fún orílẹ̀-èdè àwọn Yorùbá. Mo mọ̀ pé gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n ṣe lọ́ọ̀kan tó yẹ ká ń ṣe ẹ̀yin náà máa ṣe lọ, àwọn tó máa join yẹn máa join láti máa ṣe lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe a dey appreciate ẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má tako àwọn tó sọ pé nǹkan táwọn fẹ́ ṣe ni. Àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù náà ló ń jagun fún orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá, ẹ dẹ̀ sọ pé àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù lẹ̀ ń jà fún. Ẹ má tako wọn, ẹ má ṣe ti yín lọ.
Thank you, sir.
Ẹ ṣeun. Ẹ jẹ́ àfin dókítà. Ẹ dákun alàgbà Fálànà, ṣé ẹ ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ ni? Ẹ má bínú, omi ò fẹ́ gbẹdùn lọ́wọ́ yín kéegi.
Ìjọba mo kàn fẹ́ dáhùn ní ìṣẹ́jú kan ni. Ṣé kí n gbọ́ ọ̀nà?
Alàgbà Fálànà ṣẹ́yìn ni bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà.
Yes.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà. À ń gbọ́ yín, à ń gbọ́ yín.
Èmi ò bá wọn tó ń jà fún òmìnira Yorùbá jà. Àwọn èèyàn understand position mi. Nígbà tí Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Sunday gbolẹ̀ Yorùbá, èmi ní rárá, nítorí èmi mọ̀ pé àwọn Yorùbá wà ní òkè ọya lọ́hùn-ún, ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ tí ẹnìkan wá sílé. Mo nítorí ìdí èyí kò sẹ́ni tó láṣẹ láti sọ pé káwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan kúrò nítorí ìgbà táwọn Fúlàní tó ní kí Bishop Kúkà kó kúrò ní Sókótó torí pé ó criticize Buhari, èmi náà jáde pé ẹ lè ṣe léyìí o. Nígbà tí àwọn Fáṣọlá, ìjọba Fáṣọlá tó ń lé àwọn Yorùbá, Ìgbò àti gbogbo kúrò lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù, mo ní rárá o. Mo ní ṣùgbọ́n mo sọ ń pa Ìgbòho, ẹ̀yin ọlọ́pàá tẹ̀ ń dún òrùmọ̀ ẹ lè mú Ọ̀gbẹ́ni o, nítorí nígbà táwọn kan ní káwọn Ìgbò kan kúrò náà ẹ mú wọn o. Nígbà táwọn kan ní kan Bishop Kúkà kúrò ní Sókótó ẹ mú wọn, nítorí náà ẹ lè mú eléyìí o. Àlátìgbà yẹn náà mo dẹ̀ ń sọ fáwọn ọlọ́pàá, tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ fa wàhálà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ má mú Sunday Igboho àtàwọn tó ń jà fún òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. And today, even ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá kan sọ fún mi ni pé Mr. Fada, ẹ̀yin náà jẹ́ ká mú Ọ̀gbẹ́ni òkè nìkan kìnìkan kí lẹ fẹ́ sọ pé ó ṣe nígbà tẹ́ ẹ̀ tí mú àwọn tó ṣerú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ náà ẹ lè mú òun náà o. So mi ò ní káwọn èèyàn má jà fún ẹ̀tọ́ tiwọn, but I'm only saying, you know, as for me, I continue to defend people. But there's someone tó ń mú náà tá à ní ṣetán láti gbà wọ́n lẹ̀, just like other people are fighting for their own freedom. So kò sí wàhálà lórí eléyìí. Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Adéyẹmọ, ẹ ṣé.
Ẹ ṣé o.
Ẹ ṣeun. Dókítà Ayọ̀bámi, ẹ ti wà, mo ti mọ̀ pé ẹ ti náwó látàárọ̀, ẹ má bínú. Ó yẹ bèrè ìbéèrè.
Aago mọ́kànlá ti lù bí ó ti fẹ́ lù.
Ó dà jẹ́ àmú ìbéèrè méjì sí, ẹ tí ẹ gbìyànjú gan. Alàgbà Abíóyè, lẹ́yìn yín adájọ́ Délé Aládé lábàámọ̀ ṣera wa ní ọjọ́ òní lọ tán.
Hello, sir.
Ẹ bèrè ìbéèrè ní ṣókí, aago mọ́kànlá ti lù lọ́dọ̀ wọn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, alàgbà Fẹ́mi Fálànà, ìyẹn kún ìbéèrè tí mo kàn fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín sàn. Ó ní pé kí ni tí ó máa gbà láti kẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa? Kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Thank you very much. Next one, the last one, ma.
Adájọ́ Aládé.
Ẹ ṣé mà, Mr. Fẹ́mi Fálànà SAN, mi ní question fún yín, mo ní kí yín ni fún iṣẹ́ ribiri tẹ́ ń ṣe and what you have done, what you are doing, and what you continue to do for the people of Nigeria. Mo tún ní kí n dúpẹ́ fún nǹkan tẹ́ ṣe fún ọ̀rẹ́ wa Ọmọyẹlé Sowore, and we hope it will be back to United States. Ẹ ṣé gan.
Very soon, we will join you very soon.
Yes.
Ẹ ṣé. So ẹ̀yin olùgbọ́ wa, ẹ wo ojú aago. Ajíbẹ̀pọ́nlá ó ṣe díẹ̀ ló lè láti wákàtí kan àtààbọ̀ ní àdéhùn ṣùgbọ́n bí wọ́n ṣe ní ìfẹ́ sí Yorùbá wojú ọjọ́ ẹwẹ́nulẹ̀.
olótù ó sì kù béèrè kan wọ́n ní kí la máa ṣe for me to match with this course.
Okay.
Wọ́n need to work with us pé kí ni ká ṣe. What I'm saying, as long as you are fighting to represent the masses of Yoruba land, I will support you. But tó bá jẹ́ àwọn ìjọba ọ̀jẹ̀lú àtàwọn politicians wa who are just looking for power at all costs without talking of the development of our people. Tó bá jẹ́ àwọn tẹ̀fẹ́ bá ṣiṣẹ́ nìyẹn, lè ṣe pọ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n if it's about defending the interests of our people, you can have my unalloyed support. But as I'm saying, I'm still involved in struggles that transcend the Yoruba land and the entire African continent. But that does not prevent me from joining forces with you insofar as long as you are prepared to defend the interests of our people. And we also continue to have this cross-fertilization of ideas so that I either convince you to continue to fight for the rights of our people within Nigeria, or you convince me.
We won't confuse each other.
But for me,
Thank you very much. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ẹ ṣeun. So bí kó tó di pé wọ́n máa dágbére fún yín, ẹ gbìyànjú mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá mi pa nǹkan méjì pọ̀ ká máa fi dágbére fúnra wa. Òfin tí wọ́n ṣe lórí Twitter yìí, òfin tí wọ́n ní wọ́n ṣe láti ṣe àtúnṣe òfin àwọn National Broadcasting Commission èyí tó máa kan social media yìí. Ṣé ẹ rò pé wọ́n ń bá ọgbọ́n bọ̀ láti pa gbogbo àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa lẹ́nu mọ́ nítorí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ló wà lórí social media? Tó bá jẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ṣó lè ṣiṣẹ́? Ìbéèrè kan. Ìbéèrè kejì, ọmọ yín ojúlówó ọmọ fast tí ó ń kọrin, báwo ló ṣe rí lójú yín pàápàá tó jẹ́ pé amòfin gidi ni bí yín? Mo sì mọ̀ pé ẹ ti ń kó gbogbo àwọn aṣọ àti wíìgì yín jọ pé àwọn tí wọn ó jogun rẹ̀ nu. Ṣé nígbà tí ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kọrin, ṣé ó dùn mọ́ yín nú ni àbí ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó? Ẹ bá ti dáhùn méjèèjì un, a máa kọrin ọjọ́ òní lọ tán. Ẹ ṣé adúpẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé pọ̀ mà. Iṣẹ́ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí the proposed ban on social media. As a matter of fact, I think today is 20th. We're in court on the 22nd. Sarah has gone to court and I'm their lawyer. The case was filed in the ECOWAS court. Court one strike. So the case is going to start on the 22nd. And I can assure you, ìjọba àpapọ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ pa wá lẹ́nu mọ́ ká má bàa lè máa pariwo pé à ń fẹ́ ìjọba tiwantiwa, à ń fẹ́ kí ọ̀wọ̀ wà fáwọn èèyàn wa, à ń fẹ́ kí poverty kúrò nílùú wa. It's just to silence us, to cow us into submission. But we are not going to allow that, I can assure you. Apart from the case we have filed, the Nigerian Bar Association is also taking it up. They have also gone to a local court, municipal court, láti fight eléyìí. Láti gba àwọn ìbò, nígbà tó ti ń ṣe sedition, náà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti silence wa. But by 1983, in the case of Otto Nwankwo and the state, the Court of Appeal made it clear. Nigerians must resist any attempt to ban freedom of expression in our country because criticism is indispensable in a democratic society. That is where we are on that. I can assure you, the enemies of our people will not succeed in silencing us. And like I've told you, on Twitter, because people now migrated and they are now accessing and they are tweeting. The government cannot do anything, even though they said they wanted to prosecute, So that's where we are. On my son first, well, about me, lawyer. So don't know about lawyer more. Me only blame me. I did not fight him even though ìyàwó mi náà jẹ́ lọ́yà ó dẹ̀ yà wọ́n lẹ́nu pé báwo mo ṣe lè gbà kọ́mọ yín lọ máa kọrin after all ìwọ ti di lọ́yà àgbà adẹ̀rùn pé òun nìkan lọmọkùnrin wa tó máa jogún àwọn ìwé wa àti gbogbo ẹ̀kúnlẹ̀ ìyá mi fọmọ ilẹ̀ tí ò bá ṣe dáadáa padà wá ó ṣáà ti bá wa ṣiṣẹ́ bí ọdún mẹ́ta tó bá dẹ̀ ṣe dáadáa the sky is the limit ẹ jẹ́ ká fílẹ̀ sí tiẹ̀ àmì bàbá tèmi ṣe lọ́yà so ọmọ tèmi náà bá lòun ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́yà ọkùnrin tí wàhálà tiẹ̀ nìyẹn ó dẹ̀ ń ṣe dáadáa lónìí on the 31st of May nígbà tá a ṣe protest lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ otherwise in Nigeria against insecurity in our country òun náà wà pẹ̀lú wa so you had 2 generations of demonstrators because of injustice in our country tó bá dẹ̀ ń ṣe dáadáa tó ń kọrin láti sọ àwọn nǹkan tí ò dá ń lù just like Fela, Bob Marley and others were doing. For me, I think, I think it's on the right call. But come on, calling, I'm praised àwọn 419 àti gbogbo ìyẹn nìkan ló lè fa ìjà ní pẹ̀lẹ́. Ó dẹ̀ agree pé àwa náà ò lè kọrin lásán. Ìlú wa ń burú sí. Nǹkan tẹ́ ń jà fún láti ọjọ́ yìí àti rí any sign that we have made progress. And well, we're working together. I can assure you of that. So I'm happy with him now. Even the mother is also happy with him now. Thank you.
Okay. Ẹ ṣètò ẹ̀yin olùgbọ́ mi, ẹ̀yin olùwòran, ẹ̀yin gbogbo èèyàn tẹ́ wà lórí YouTube, lórí rédíò Yorùbá Gbòde àti lórí ẹ̀rọ agbẹnitán Zoom. Lórúkọ gbogbo yín àti àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ Yorùbá Gbòde. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ látorí Adénẹ́kàn ọmọ dúdú àti Yorùbá Gbòde tó fi dórí àwọn atọ́kùn mi méjèèjì àti àwọn àgbà ọ̀jẹ̀ àwọn tí a fẹ̀yìntì lórí Yorùbá Gbòde àwọn amòye Professor Ọmọfọlábọ̀ Àjàyí Ṣóyínká, Professor Banji Ayílóge, Professor Adéníran Adébóyè àti gbogbo ẹgbàágbèje àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo ń fi àsìkò yìí dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ojúlówó ọmọ Yorùbá, bàbá Yorùbá, akíkanjú Yorùbá, akọ níwájú adájọ́ tó ṣe é yangàn, alàgbà amòfin àgbà Fẹ́mi Fálànà. Mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín, mo dúpẹ́ pẹ́ òkun. Ẹ máa rí sọ Ọlọ́run èdè àrẹ́jọ́ bíi ti amòfin àgbà kọ́. Àmọ́ gbogbo ẹjọ́ tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ń rí ẹ̀yin lẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀ borí. Torí wọ́n ní téńté báyìí ò ní igbá lé orí omi ẹ máa rí ṣe ẹ sì máa rí àṣeyọrí. Mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín. Yorùbá Gbòde ó tún pè yín o, ẹ dákun ó wá lè tójọ́ mẹ́ta torí ọ̀sán òdùn lèèyàn mú kan tó bá ti dùn á mú méjì á mú mẹ́ta. Mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín pé ẹ wá ẹ farabalẹ̀ ẹ lo àsìkò. Ohun tó tiẹ̀ máa ń yà mí lẹ́nu nígbà tẹ́mi tí máa ń wò yín ni pé tẹ́ ẹ bá ń dáhùn béèrè tẹ̀rín ni inú ẹ̀bí yín ń gbà kankan ni. Inú mi dùn wípé ẹ dáhùn gbogbo àwọn béèrè yín tẹ̀rín tọ̀yàyà àti ọgbọ́n orí. Ẹ á mọ̀ dágbére ẹ̀rọ wọn tún ti lọ o.
Mo wà pẹ̀lú yín mà, mo wà pẹ̀lú yín.
Ó ní gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ń dáhùn béèrè àtòrí YouTube àti gbogbo ẹ máa ń rẹ́rìn-ín ni ẹ̀yin etí ẹ̀ bínú kankan ni.
Àgbọ́dọ̀ bínú nítorí wàhálà pọ̀ nínú wa tá bá tún bínú wàhálà ni ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ fún ẹ̀ tiwa náà. Ìwé yìí tẹ sọ pé ká má rẹjọ́ agbọ́dọ̀ rẹjọ́ kẹjọ́ da tó máa mú wọlé lórí da.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń lọ ẹ̀yin náà lẹ́mọ̀ borí láṣẹ Olúwa. Mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín lórúkọ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa. Adélébáre àrìnàkore ẹyẹ kì í fò kó forí sọgi ẹ ṣé adúpẹ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ ètò Yorùbá Gbòde ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ráyè béèrè lónìí ẹ dákun ẹ mọ́ bínú ẹ wo ẹ ṣeun adúpẹ́ sà ẹ ṣé o. Ajíbẹ̀pọ́nlá ó ṣe díẹ̀ lólè ẹ wò bá wọn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ a sì lo wákàtí 3 gbáko béèyàn bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ gan-an láàrin wákàtí 3 yóò níye tí ó wọlé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ráyè lónìí ẹ má bínú àfi ṣèkà ẹ dákun ẹ má bínú. Ní ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ ọ̀tún láti mú wá a fẹ́ wo ìgbésí ayé àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. A fẹ́ gbọ́ nǹkan tí ojú àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa ń rí. Ọ̀dọ́ kan fi ẹsẹ̀ rìn lọ sí Libya nítorí àtijẹ yóò wá ṣàlàyé ara rẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin náà fi wá mọ̀ pé ewu ń bẹ lóko lóńgẹ́ gan. ewu ni.
ewu fúnra.
Mo tún fi àsìkò yìí kéde, ẹ má gbàgbé Yorùbá class, ẹ jẹ́ kọ́mọ yín wá kọ́ Yorùbá, rolling admission ní iléeṣẹ́ Yorùbá Gbode. Pè nọ́mbà wa bẹ́ẹ̀ tí mo ń pè. Ẹ̀yin onínú dídùn ọlọ́rẹ, Ọlọ́run ní gbàgbé yín, ẹ má gbàgbé Yorùbá Gbode. Mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ẹni tó fúnni lówó kò fẹ́ kí ebi ó pani, ẹni tó fúnni nímọ̀ kò fẹ́ kárìn lókun àìnímọ̀, ẹni tó fúnni lọ́mọ kò fẹ́ kí ájà dẹrun bí iṣu. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yèyé mi o, Egbinọlá Adékúnbi, àtúnwá ẹ̀dùn ló kọ́ mi láṣà àmúdèrè àṣà. Èrè ní mògùn ará àlágbẹ̀dẹ, ibi tó bá wà ilẹ̀ rẹ̀ ni. A tún pàdé ní ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ bí ẹlẹ́mìí ò bá gbà. Èmi ni tí ní tòótọ́, Ṣọlá